All right. In theory, everything should be working. Let me go ahead and tell people that I am live. It's been a very long time since I have live streamed anything. I do not remember how this goes. Let's see. Hey, it's working. First try. Oh, okay. I tried to tag a role that does not exist on my Discord. I am not doing straight sword hill. I'm actually going to do my favorite weapon. Best weapon is a little bit of a lie, but it's okay. I guess I can replace this one now. That one is for other things. I'm bad with names. Scythe. I don't remember the requirements. That's really close to the... I think it's 1412. That's probably the best choice. Let's see. So this is just going to be more of a casual run, I guess I would describe it as. Nothing crazy. No crazy difficult challenges. It's 1414? I guess I'll figure out when I get it. I'm sure I'll be able to get there by then. The best weapon, like the actual best weapon, I think it really depends on your playstyle. Like there isn't a single weapon that I would recommend to everyone. Claymore is up there. Black Knight Halberd. I mean, Black Knight Halberd is honestly probably the best weapon, but if it doesn't fit your playstyle, it doesn't really work. Personally, I really like the Scythe. It has a very, very similar moveset to the Black Knight Halberd. It's lower damage, but it's easier to get. I like it more. Yeah, okay. 1412. I figured. Or, that's not the right word. That's what I thought it was. And I mean, obviously, if you want like best possible DPS, regardless of difficulty or whatever, then you're probably going to be using like Painting Guardian Sword. But again, it really just depends on your playstyle. Yeah, I really like the Black Knight. All the Black Knight weapons are really fun. My favorite is probably just the sword, because nostalgia more than anything. I used that in my first playthrough to beat Gwyn. Oops. No, wait, hold on, I'm sorry. Talk to me. Alright, whatever. I used the Claymore, and then I got a Black Knight sword. No, I'm misremembering something, because I used the Claymore and the Black Knight sword as some of my first weapons, but I don't remember which ones I got where. I really like the Ultra Greatsword. Because it's really funny to see a massive number. And I mean, it's a Black Knight weapon, which makes it objectively cooler. Claymore is a very, very fun weapon. I'm not sure why I like it so much. It's not like it's especially powerful. It's not like it has a really cool moveset. It's just fun to use. I think the same thing goes for the Zwei and the Greatsword. Well, no, the Greatsword is fun because it's a massive slab of metal. I don't know if that noise is coming through on the stream. I hope it's not. If the volume is off, let me know if it should be louder or quieter or whatever. The slab, indeed. Though, I feel like the Demon Great Axe is more of a slab. I look over to their chat and I just see bitch beans. That's a really good username. Welcome to the stream for however long you stay. My Christianity videos I actually uploaded because like there are a lot of videos like that, obviously, but none of them resonated with me in a way that I would say it was exactly what I wanted. Um, so I just kind of made my own. They were really fun to make, and they also obviously really helped me. I should get the the large ember real quick. My favorite armor set, besides like the gold hem set, besides the gold hem set, is probably the brass armor set. I don't know why, I just really like it. I always have. Yes, the scythe, because it's my favorite weapon. It's not like the best in any measurable way, I just like it. Hitboxes. Okay, come on. Stop it! I swear to God. The Bardiche is probably my favorite polearm. It just looks cool. And like, being able to hold it behind the blade is just objectively cool. Gives it a bunch of other utility. You can basically use it like a bow staff if you really want to. I've seen quite a few funny usernames in my time. One of my favorites was I have no brain, but I must think. That one was really funny. That's probably my favorite. But Bitch Beans is also up there. See, the bill hook is cool because because of its utility, but like it looks less cool because of it to me. Very normal Dark Souls gameplay happening. We'll see if I can do this first try without dying. Make fun you up. I love seeing funny usernames. Like mine isn't, and that's just out of utility more than anything. But if I didn't aspire to be a YouTuber as a living, I would absolutely have a really dumb nickname. I don't know what it would be, but I would. I'm surprised. Great Axe, what? Okay. I forgot you could grab the Great Axe like that. I lost my train of thought. I don't even remember what I was going to say. I really like doing that glitch. Not because, or not for any particular reason, I just think it's funny. Moonlight Greatsword is very fun. I used it in a spellsword build in... no, please. In Dark Souls 1, and then I did it in a co-op playthrough in Dark Souls 3. And I really liked it in both of them, but that's also because spellsword builds on their own are fun. When I first did it, I felt so cool, and it's just something that I like doing because I like having the large ember early. It has become routine. Stop it! Stop it! There we go. I've heard Jerkin the Gherkin, not like as a username, just like as a thing that people have said. And I have no idea where that came from. And I have no idea why I've heard it or where I've heard it. It's just a thing that I know in my head. The Berserk Greatsword is in Dark Souls 1. It is called the Greatsword. And it is pretty great. Apt name. The worst part about getting this early... Oh yeah, it is very skinny in Dark Souls 1. But it is the one that references the... What is it, like Dragon Slayer sword or something? I don't remember. I haven't actually seen or watched Guts. The worst part about this skip is the dogs, because you have to go past 3 of them, and killing dogs with a +0 is really annoying, and getting past dogs is also really annoying. Sack from the first one? That's awesome. I very, very rarely get the sack from the first butcher. I think I started to watch one of the anime adaptations. I don't remember which one. If I remember correctly, it's the one that most people say is good, but I could just have completely misinterpreted that. I've heard very, very good things about it. So I've like always wanted to watch it. Or read it. But I'm not one for reading much. I think my favorite Greatsword, Berserk sword in Dark Souls is the Dark Souls 2 one, just because it's massive. Yeah, Dragon Sire, okay. I only know that because I've got it in Blade and Sorcery. I have no other experience with anything having to do with Berserk other than Dark Souls and Blade and Sorcery. Stop it. I should mute my mic before I do that. I don't think I have a mute mic button. I should set that up. There's a much easier way to do this. Easier might not be the word in retrospect. There's a more consistent way to do this. And I'm going to go ahead and do that, I think. And then obviously I'm going to use Sin Skip. Gaming, indeed. Emphasis on the gay. I feel like that's kind of the point of Berserk though, right? Like it's supposed to be uncomfortable. Oops. I swear I'm not bad at this. Though I guess I haven't really read it, so I don't know how bad it is. Nope. Not even close. There we go. Perfect. Okay, now I need to get the other dog to aggro. Come on. Please. Come on. I need you to get out so I can plunging attack you and kill you in one hit. And not struggle. This was supposed to be easy. No. God, I did it bad. Wrong. Stop it. It's okay. Everything's fine. We got this. Oh, hi. Drink. Alright. First try. What is this guy doing? Hiya! I am... You know, I'm not good at Capra Demon only because it's usually a very easy fight once you get past the dogs. So I don't know his moveset very well. If you don't go next to the fog wall, he doesn't aggro. And you can just kind of wail on him. It's really funny. And that's what I was trying to do, but I messed it up. And then I just kind of did a normal Capra Demon fight. Well, normal with a +0. I don't know if that is what I would consider normal, but it's fine. I don't know, at this point, I guess it's kind of my normal. Use a different attack, please. I shan't let hubris get the best of me. Capra doesn't even have bad hitboxes. I mean, Dark Souls 2 has overblown hitboxes. I don't think they're that bad 99% of the time. It's that 1% that people remember. I don't understand why everyone thinks, like, Smelter has bad hitboxes. Smelter's one of my favorite bosses in this series just because of how tight his hitboxes are. Like, his slam is a little wonky, but he's definitely not a terrible example. Can you stop doing this one attack? Sauron's grab isn't even that bad. It just looks kind of weird sometimes because you'll get caught by it. You'll get hit by it. But he will keep moving, so it like snaps you into a weird spot. They look worse than they really are. Like the sword will hit you, but he'll be like at the base of the sword. But the animation moves you to the front of the sword. Whoa, this is the slowest Capra Demon fight I've ever had. I didn't know he could turn around 180 like that. I guess learning Capra is a good thing. Best weapon, the straight sword. Oh. That was very poorly timed roll. I'm gonna go ahead and get to a safe spot to heal. You fool. Damage. I cannot look at the chat right now, and I really want to because I see messages coming up. But I just want to get through this fight. Hubris. Everything's fine. We're good. Something. I thought this game was supposed to be hard. These two dogs are going to obliterate me, though. They're not aggroed. That's interesting. Whoa, he dropped his machete. That's stupidly rare. Let me try to catch up on. Iron Golem Grab is also strange. I don't remember if it was the video that's going to be uploaded later this week, or if it was the Asylum video that I just uploaded. Not just uploaded, but what are they doing? Anyway, Asylum, or Iron Golem Grab was funky. Oh. Do these ones have less health than the ones in the depths? What? I never knew that. Emily, I think you should get Jimmy John's. They are better than both of them. Well, actually, that might be because I'm autistic. They very much became a comfort food. I don't like Firehouse subs, though. I've never had Jersey Mike's. I don't think I've ever been hit by the Gaping Dragon Grab. Dark Souls 2 is... There's just so many cool weapons in Dark Souls 2 with power stancing and how cool the Greatsword is, obviously. All the different spell types, with hexes, pyromancies, and the way that you can combine spell types. Like, if you're doing a pure sorcerer build, but there's a pyromancy that you want to use, you can totally do that. That's not really an option as much. I mean, it is an option in Dark Souls 3, obviously. And in this game, it's not really, I don't know, it depends on how you build things. Because Pyromancy Flame is just a soul eater. But largely, I think Dark Souls 2 did spell variety the best. Like, you can use hexes with any build. Or rather, you can use all kinds of spells with hexes as well. Just because of the nature of how hexes work. I think I should upgrade my vitality and dexterity. I'm probably going to get vitality to 20. And I don't like their originals or whatever. Or wait, no. I like the originals. I don't like the stuff, the other ones. There's they have two menus. I don't know how it is at the place. I know at the place they have two lists, but I don't know how it's divided up. Oh wait, I want to get the large number. But on the app, they have the originals, which are the BLT the beach club, the tuna, the turkey sandwich, whatever. And then they have like their specialties. The originals are just so much better. The specialties are gross most of the time. Subway is the worst sub place. Just don't get Subway and you'll probably be fine. I really like agility in Dark Souls 2. Is audio cutting out? Don't get their fresh bread. It's like fine, I guess. Okay. Good to know that the audio isn't terrible. I should heal. There is no reason for me not to heal. I am too used to challenge runs. What? Giant rats. I hate these things. I hope that's not my internet. Streaming is scary. Anyway, agility. I really like agility just because it encourages build variety. If you don't want to level agility, you can just use a shield, right? Or, I mean, adaptability. If you don't want to level adaptability, obviously you're not going to be able to heal as quickly, but you're probably going to be using a slower build anyway and have more time to heal because you're going to be using a shield. And I think it really encourages that kind of variety a lot better with how you can use... Like in Dark Souls 1, there are certain bosses that you just can't really use a shield with, and it's just a massive shield. Like with Manus, unless you have Havels, you're just not going to be blocking very well. But in Dark Souls 2, you have to learn how to use your shield. You can't just use it to catch yourself if you roll poorly. Why am I going this way? I don't need to go this way. Alright, yeah, I want to run straight to Andre, use Send Skip, and get the scythe. I'll probably... I don't know if I want to, get to +10 right now. Great shields are very fun. Doing a dual great shield build, just to mess around, is really funny. I've never, played a whole game with a great shield build, but I've messed with great shields and they're funny. What was I talking about? Oh yeah. I don't know if I want to get to +10 as soon as possible. Sorry for clearing my throat so much. I don't know why that's happening. I don't know if I want to buy a bunch of Titanite, large Titanite shards right now and just get to +10 as soon as possible, or if I should wait and get normal progression. I think it's funny to just have a +10 immediately. I play pretty passively, but specifically with dodging. If you watch me do the boss fights in the true highest DPS video, which wasn't the true highest DPS. I forgot Crystal Infusion, but excuse me. If you watch me play, I'm playing really passively most of the time, just waiting for an opportunity to attack because I started with this game, and that's just kind of how it teaches you to play. That said, my aggression style in Bloodborne is just parry, parry, parry. So I'm not very good at parrying. It doesn't work out most of the time. I really like Bloodborne, but not... So I have a video on my channel from years ago. Do not watch it. It's called Bloodborne is the Worst One. And I don't think Bloodborne is the worst one anymore. I think that goes to either Dark Souls 3 or Elden Ring, just for my personal preferences. However, I do still stand by a lot of what I said in that video. There's a lot that I absolutely agree with. I just didn't really focus on the positives at all. I still think the shadows are a really annoying boss fight. I still think, my favorite boss is still Martyr Logarius. Can't remember his name. um, but like I don't like his inconsistencies. Um, I don't like the inconsistencies at all in for any of the bosses. That sort of thing. If I'm lucky, I'll get large Titanite shards. I did not get lucky. A Street Fighter or whatever. Like I can't. Sorry. Okay. So the thing I don't like about Elden Ring is how you can be aggressive. Like the whole thing is like you can be aggressive if you find the openings, right? But I don't like how you have to find the openings. So like Malekith, right, is probably my least favorite boss in the entirety of the Soulsborne, Seki Soulsborne series, aside from like maybe Ludden, but that's more because of the run up. So whatever. But like how he just takes off and you can't do anything while he's in there. But then when he lands, if you know what you're doing, right, you can get an attack there. But he also immediately jumps away again. So you have to be lucky to find it in the first place, I guess is my problem. And that, I mean, that applies to a lot of bosses. I don't like how Radigan just kind of like flies away for a little bit with the attack where he slams back down into the ground. Let me make sure I have the position right. This should be about right here. Oops. Come on. There we go. Don't die. Cool. Got it. First try. I don't like how in order to be completely safe for Rykard, you just kind of need to run in circles for a while when he does this. That one, I don't remember what the name of the attack is. His rampage attack or whatever. All the bosses have something I don't like. For like Godric, you know, it's the wind, the tornado. Like Butterfly is the only boss in this game that does that. So it feels more like a, oh hey, here's this little outlier that could be fun. I mean, it isn't most of the time. But like, geez. If you don't like it, you can also just get a ranged weapon, because most builds have some ranged option that they can use, right? If you're already using spells or whatever, then obviously you have a ranged weapon. If you're doing a dex build, you can use a bow. If you're using a strength build, you can use a crossbow. Can you hit the Moonlight Butterfly with a crossbow? I'm not actually sure about that. I mean, how did you survive that? What a jerk. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't really do that in Elden Ring just because of how everything works. I don't know. Because of how diverse the boss movesets are. I should drink water. I'm in a safe position to do that. I very much dislike Melania, and it's not even just because of Waterfowl. Like her move where she, in her second phase, where she like jumps up and then sends a bunch of clones stabbing at you. I hate that attack. Ooh, I completely forgot. Brain shut off. Okay. But like, yeah, that attack's really annoying. All of her attacks are annoying to deal with at points. The way she heals when she hits your shield is her biggest design flaw by far. Like, it's not even close. Pardon me? I hate how long that attack is. More water. Okay, if my throat keeps doing that, I will cry. Yeah, if you want to use a shield against Melania, too bad, I guess. Get good. I hate, like, I know Get Good is a meme in the Souls community But it seems like FromSoft took it and was like, oh, that's what they want, and then made Elden Ring, you know? To a point, it kind of feels like that with Sekiro, but I feel like this is just a product of how the game works, and I really, really like Sekiro. I think its difficulty is part of its charm. Obviously, it is with Dark Souls too, but Dark Souls, the difficulty is part of the charm because of, like, the point is overcoming it, right? With Sekiro, it's kind of the same thing, but, like, the gameplay itself is meant to be satisfying, like, with or without the accomplishment. Why am I not getting it? I think I'm too high up. Wait. That's too low. I'm dead. Yep. I disagree. I don't think linearity is better. I think, like, I hate how linear Dark Souls 3 is, because if you want to get a later game weapon, you just, like, can't use it for most of the game. And of course you can, like, skip to Lothric Castle through the Dancer. But aside from that, like, if you want to use a weapon from, I don't know, Anor Londo, you just have to wait for over half the game, and it's really annoying, and you just can't use that weapon. For Dark Souls 1, for instance, if you want to use a weapon from Anor Londo, which is kind of at the same point, I don't know, it's a little earlier in Dark Souls 1. If you want to use a weapon from the DLC, you kill 5 bosses, and then, you know, however many to get through the DLC that you want. That was bad positioning. Never mind. I am a god. So I think openness is good for build variety. I think Dark Souls 2 did that really well as well, just because the 4 branching paths and then the million souls thing where you can just kill a rotten a few times instead of, you know, where am I? Go. I swear to God. I hate his controls. There we go. But yeah, like Dark Souls 3, I don't like the linearity. I would say Elden Ring is still kind of linear. Like, you can choose the first several bosses however you want, right? You can do whatever order. Oops. Come on. Work with me here. But, like, if you want to use a weapon from Farum Azula, like, tough. Why won't I go up? Like in Dark Souls 1, right? If you want to use a Black Knight weapon, technically they spawn in the kiln. That's like the only place they respawn, but you also have a chance of getting it everywhere else in the game. So why won't... Oh, okay. That makes a lot more sense. I swear to God. Okay. Elden Ring is my least favorite for a lot of reasons. Bosses are the biggest reason by far. Because the bosses are, like, usually my favorite part of the series, or of the games rather. But the world layout, just having to run around for 2 hours to start any playthrough sucks. Like, if you don't want to be super underleveled, you just kind of have to run through everything again. And if you've already done that, it's a lot less fun, it's a lot less interesting. Like, exploring the first time is incredible. One of the best experiences I've ever had in a game. But going back to replay it at all, that was very smart of me. Going back to replay it at all is not great. I see what you mean, Hazel. Like, they are linear. Like, for Dark Souls 1, you have to do the 2 bell fights, and then you have to go through Anor Londo, and then you have to go through the 4 lords before you get to Gwyn. But, like, you can do things to change that progression in a lot of different ways, like even without Sen Skip. You can do... It only takes 3 bosses to get to Anor Londo. And then there's still all the other bosses in the game for you to use whatever build you want on, right? And even if you want to get to the Tomb of the Giants, like, you can go through almost all of the Tomb of the Giants before getting the Lord Vessel. Seath's Archives is blocked off, but that's because all the stuff in Seath's Archives is, like, upgrades to stuff. It's like, obviously you have stuff like Crystal Magic Weapon or whatever, but even, like, crystal upgrades are just an upgrade to stuff, right? It's not like you're gonna have a crystal weapon as your main weapon. It's not supposed to be like that. So I think locking Seath's off makes a lot of sense. New Londo is obviously entirely accessible. And then Lost Izalith doesn't really have anything. So, like, I don't know. It's not. I wouldn't say it's linear in a way that it's linear in a way that offers progression without destroying your options, I suppose. That's what I like about Dark Souls 1. That was 100% intentional. I would argue that Dark Souls 1... Okay, how do I put this? I don't think Dark Souls 1 is flawless. I think its flaws make it better. Um, like, obviously, Lost Izalith is considered one of the worst levels by the developers, right? But I really like Lost Izalith for the atmosphere that it has and brings to the rest of the game. Um, I like that it's empty, and it's like you walk into this giant pool of lava with all these dragon butts, and it's like, what is going on? What is this? And it, I mean, it's a lot more chaotic than it would be otherwise, in my opinion. Yeah, that's exactly what I mean. You can kill Ingward as early as you want. Um, I almost went and like rested at the bonfire. That would have not been a great idea. Yeah, I don't think Lost Izalith is perfect. If it could be better, it would, you know, that would make the game better. But I don't think it makes Dark Souls 1 worse, if that makes sense. It could be better. It doesn't make the game worse. Yeah. And I like Bed of Chaos, but I'm also weird, so... Yeah, exactly. It makes complete sense. I like how empty and crazy and weird Lost Izalith is. I do wish they would have had more demon variety. Like, not having a Capra or Taurus demon in Lost Izalith itself is kind of weird. And then, like, though, it's like they're escaping in a coordinated effort, and that's a really funny headcanon, so I changed my mind. I really like that none of the Capra demons or Taurus demons are in Lost Izalith, and they're just kind of, like, up in the demon ruins because they're actively attempting to escape. Um, like, I think my least favorite part of Dark Souls 1 is probably the DLC, which is a very, very uncommon stance. I need to buy things. That's why I'm here. What? Okay, that's so cool. I should have gotten the cage first. Alright, one more time. This time I got it, I promise. This is the one. I didn't think it would come down that quickly. I don't think I've ever been hit by a firebomb from that giant. Except for in the Golem, Iron Golem boss fight when I forgot to take it out or like just had my positioning wrong. Right. I swear this entire stream won't just be me dying in Sin's Fortress over and over. That might kill me. Oh yeah, I was talking about the DLC. I don't like the DLC just because there are so many enemies. It's like, it's not like Dark Souls 3 in that way. Dark Souls 3, and to a point, to a point, Bloodborne, its difficulty comes from having a lot of enemies. And like, I know people say that about Dark Souls 2. However, I disagree with that being why Dark Souls 2 is hard, just because of how the levels are laid out and how the enemies are placed. I'm talking about Scholar of the First Sin, actually. I don't know Vanilla Dark Souls 2 well enough to have an opinion on that. But for the Scholar of the First Sin, like, there are a lot more enemies in Dark Souls 2 than there are in Dark Souls 3. However, how do I put this? Like, it's the way they're laid out, you're meant to be ambushed a lot, right? And that's true of Dark Souls 1 as well. But why isn't my brain working? Whoa, $10. That is the very, very first super chat I've ever gotten. Sin skip 3 times. I mean, I've done it a lot more than that. Thank you so much. That is the first super chat I've ever gotten. Yeah, I think I've gotten like a $1 donation from a friend on a stream. I used to do it like a PayPal donation thing. But anyway, yeah, Dark Souls 2 is very much about patience and memory. That's a very good way to put it. I don't know why my brain is just refusing to work right now. I'm broken from sin skip. But like, it's laid out in a way where the frustrating bits are fun because of how they're frustrating, right? I would say the one place where that doesn't hold super true is Shrine of Amana. But even then, like, I don't know. I don't dislike Shrine of Amana just because there are so many ways that you can overcome it. And that leads back into Dark Souls 1 design philosophy. Anyway, Dark Souls 1 DLC has too many enemies, and then the Chasm of the Abyss is awful and stupid. Autism do go burn. This is extremely accurate. ADHD. Mostly ADHD, I think. I'm just losing my train of thought constantly. The character reveal? For what? I do not know Dark Souls well enough. Has anyone done a blindfolded playthrough of Dark Souls? That'd be really impressive. I have no idea if that's happened. Oh, Guilty Gear. I don't play Guilty Gear. Another fighting game that I want to play. You see all the... I've seen all the Bridget memes. A bucket. But like, I just don't like fighting games. Yeah, Chasm is terrible. Ulistil Township is really annoying just because there are so many bloatheads. And like the sorcerer at the end of the bridge with 2 more bloatheads, and if you aren't like super careful, you're probably gonna get knocked off. Yeah. Or like if you don't kite them, I mean, you're probably gonna get hit or knocked off or something bad. You just need to be either way too careful or way too good at crowd control, which is just not a skill that most builds can have. Like a Greatsword or whatever, right, is perfect for crowd control, and so it's good for the DLC. But it's not every build is going to have that same level. I'm going to do soul duping so that I don't have to come back later. Come on. Okay, come on. Very funny. I should be good at this. I do it so often. There we go. I'll use my bigger one. Then I'll just die and get rid of all the souls that I don't use for this. Dark Souls, I really like how Dark Souls 2 doesn't tell you where to go and how it like obfuscates your next goal. I don't know. That's probably weird. Though I do really like Tunic for the same reason. So, whoa, $5. Thank you so much. I don't deserve money. Least favorite part about Dark Souls 3 apart from its linearity. That's a good question. Pontiff. There are a lot of bosses in Dark Souls 3 that I don't particularly enjoy. Pontiff is among the highest of them. I don't like Gale. I don't like Nameless. I don't like Deacons or Abyss Watchers. That's not entirely true. I like Abyss Watchers as a concept, but I don't like Abyss Watchers as the actual fight, especially Phase 2. Phase 2 is awful. I hate Abyss Watchers Phase 2. Whoa, I forgot about this platform. Its strong points apart from the bosses. I wouldn't call the bosses a strong point, but I think it's best. Like the best thing about Dark Souls 3 is how it feels to play. I'm gonna let it kill me. Like, it probably feels the best to play apart from like Sekiro, just because of how fluid the controls are, and how everything flows into itself. That said, that isn't really that difficult because 90% of the game is R1 spamming. I should have bought normal Titanite. I am over encumbered. Here we go. Shirts are for cowards. I didn't use any glitches in my first playthrough of Dark Souls 1. I don't think. I did grind a lot. I killed a lot of the giants in Anor Londo, so I could get a +5 Black Knight sword. Soul level 1 with stock class items. I mean, I'm planning soul level 1 with straight sword hilt only. Does that count? That's going to be really hard because the mushrooms are taking like 80 damage. And I wanted to grind for gold pine resin, but I don't think that's going to work very well. I do also want to do a playthrough with all of the starting class, or yeah, all the class like starting items, but not soul level 1, just to see like which one has the best. As more of an analysis style video than a challenge run. So it'd be cool to see like, oh, the knight has the broadsword, which is like one of the best weapons in the game already, or at least in my opinion. I really like it. It's fast, it does decent damage, all that. I should kill more enemies. Yeah, my least favorite point of Dark Souls 3 is probably the bosses. I don't know, because some of the bosses are really cool and fun. Like, the Dancer is probably my favorite boss. Second favorite boss in the series, behind, like, Calamite. And the Demon Princes are really, really fun. There are a lot of really fun bosses in Dark Souls 3. There are a lot of really not fun bosses in Dark Souls 3. I changed my mind. The level design is absolutely the worst thing about Dark Souls 3. One of my favorite examples of how terrible the level design in Dark Souls 3 can be is in High Wall of Lothric. When you're going to the shortcut elevator, there's that one hollow in that room, right? You enter the room, and then 4 other hollows climb up off of a ledge that you couldn't have possibly seen coming. There's literally no way to know that those 4 hollows are gonna be there unless you like see the tips of their fingers. Meanwhile, you're already fighting another hollow. So like the way it ambushes you is a lot less fair. Why didn't I riposte? The way it ambushes you is a lot less fair than Dark Souls 2, because again, Dark Souls 2 is built around noticing and understanding how ambushes and how to avoid them. Dark Souls 1 is about like paying attention to your surroundings. Like even in this area, that one hollow runs away from you, but you're not supposed to go running as quickly as you can after it. The naked one down that staircase right there, right? You chase it, and then another hollow jumps out at you if you're not paying attention. But that's teaching you in a relatively safe environment, right? Because you probably just took out the boar, which is the hardest part of that. So you're in a relatively safe environment. You can get back there really quickly and easily. That, hey, you should probably be careful and like look around corners, not chase enemies, that sort of thing. So I really, really like the level design in Dark Souls 1 and 2, and then I hate it in Dark Souls 3. You know, the excitement is probably heightened by my inability to focus on a topic for more than 10 seconds. I don't know, I don't hate Dark Souls 3. There are a lot of things about Dark Souls 3 that I really don't like. Chat interaction is my favorite thing about streaming. I wouldn't stream if there was no chat, obviously. I mean, that's... my favorite thing about streaming is interacting with chat, obviously. Though, it is also fun to, like, just kind of chill and not have to worry about, oh, I'm going to edit this later. I probably will. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, ADHD is a killer. The speed of Dark Souls 3, I don't know. I like it. I like the speed of Dark Souls 3. I don't think they took advantage of it in the way that they should have. So like I said, the Dancer is one of my favorite bosses in the series, but that's because it feels like a Dark Souls 1 boss in Dark Souls 3 speeds. I love that so much. That's part of why I like the Demon Princes too, right? They act more like the gargoyles than the Elden Ring gargoyles. They act more like the Bell gargoyles and the gargoyles in Elden Ring. And I think it works really well. Tori, selfless, or word? What's the word when you do something? When you do something without, or to self-promote without thinking about how others would. I don't know what word. Anyway, Tori promoting her future challenge run. Yeah, like I really like I like the speed. I don't like what they did with the speed, especially with like Gale. Gale is literally just a reaction test. And it's so easy because it's Gale. And the only hard part about Gale is the health bar. Nameless King is pretty similar. Like you don't need to really worry about what direction to dodge like you would in Dark Souls 1, like you do with the Dancer. You don't need to worry about perfect timing other than just like reacting and understanding that you're not supposed to react immediately. Pontiff is very similar. Pontiff is very much a reaction test more so than learning the boss. That's what I don't like about Dark Souls 3. It's too much reactions. Too many reactions, not enough learning. No, like... I want to say selfishly, but that's not the word at all. That's definitely not the word. It doesn't even mean selfishly, and I don't know why I'm thinking that. Shamelessly. Shamelessly self-promoting. There it is. I found it. Oh, he said it. I am very good at reading chat, I promise. Souls bosses is reaction YouTubers. I feel like there's a joke in there that I don't have the capacity to elaborate on. I am not a funny gal. We're good. The Demon Prince hanging out with you, that would... Why the Demon Prince? If I could hang out with any Dark Souls boss without it being, like, dangerous, it would probably be Seath. Just because I would really like to learn all the things that he learned through having immortality. And I know he went mad and insane, but, like, that's so interesting to me. If he would just, like, sit down and talk to me. Yeah, if you fight the Demon Princes in the correct order, they're one of the best bosses in the series. If you do the other order, they're less great. But they're still fun. Capra Demon does have dogs, I think. Capra Demon is a pretty fun boss. It's also, I say Capra Demon is more of a tutorial than a proper boss. Oh, I did buy Titanite shards. I didn't need to do any grinding. I'm so smart. ADHD. I hardly know her. Anyway, Capra Demon is... Capra Demon is a tutorial for poise. So he's not teaching you to, like, dodge and react and whatever. It's teaching you to put on heavy armor or the wolf ring and get some health. I'm also going to level this up a little bit for... What's his name? Ingward. So, like, if you wear the knight armor, Capra Demon is one of the easiest bosses in the game. The rats from Dark Souls 2. That's such a good answer. Oh my god. Like the Rat King? Would he be included in that, or just the Vanguard? Vanguard? Authority. No, Vanguard. Vanguard is the one with all the rats. I don't know. I feel like if Seath could properly talk about his immortality, I would love talking to him. However, if he wouldn't be able to do it coherently, my second choice would probably be Gwendolyn. And it's definitely not because I have a crush on Gwendolyn. No, Priscilla. I have a bigger crush on Priscilla. I mean, I don't have a crush on Priscilla. True. The crackhead does not have magic. Magic is pretty sweet. I think that's why he would be able to talk normally. It would be so interesting to see how the rats actually see the world, now that I think about it. Because, like, they see humans as filth. But they're also diseased. And, it, like, do they see their disease as just, like, a part of them? Do they see it as I would see... I don't know, like my autism. Like I don't like my autism as a bad thing, right? It just changes how I interact with the world, and I wonder if the rats would see their rot and their diseased bodies in the same way that I would see my autism, or if it's like if they see it as a negative that they also want to get rid of, but they blame humans for it. I don't know. The rats is a really good, interesting answer. Moonlight Butterfly is also a human who got, I want to say, transmogrified. However, I'm going to attempt to not be pretentious and say transformed by Seath into the Moonlight Butterfly. So, to Logan. Logan's not a boss, though. I mean, I guess he kind of takes Seath's place. Seath 2.0. I love that people don't think about things the way I do. And I say something and they're like, oh yeah, that too. That's one of my favorite things about being way too analytical about everything. See, the rats are either extremely ableist or like the coolest people you've ever talked to. What's wrong with Seas? His boss fight's easy. Everyone agrees with that. The fact that immortality is awful and probably not good. Then again, I do get the Dark Lord ending all the time. So I don't know. I don't think immortality in itself is bad. Anyway, what's wrong with Seath? I'm surprised no one said Sif so that I could pet her. Gideon would be so full of himself. I think seeing Estelle would be a life-changing experience. Just like understanding that there is a creature of that size is just like harrowing. See, the problem with that is they're called the penetrator because they use their sword to penetrate things. If there was another reason they were called the penetrator, I might change my answer. But I think I'm going to have to stick with Priscilla, personally. Though again, second choice would absolutely be the rats. Fire Giant too, because he's like insanely old too, huh? He lived at the time of the giants, and it would be so interesting to see how he sees the world with how big he is, you know? If he even understands the way we see the world as well as we are. Isn't it just like demon stuff? I don't know. Dexterity. I'm gonna get the very large ember. Well, that would absolutely call you a slur. That's really funny. Leechmonger is... I feel like you could get the same experience by just like going into your local sewer. Volstad being racist or bigoted generally just because of his position is really funny to me. I feel like all of the monarchy in all of the games would be very, very bigoted. Volstad is the king's protector or whatever from Dark Souls 2. So he's part of the monarchy. The Bardiche is the best weapon because I like it the most. It's my favorite weapon. And I just wanted to do a casual run to try out streaming, see how it would be. Mostly. I'll grab the Titanite slab. Watch me die to the stray. Watch me die to the tortellas. Whoa, thanks for the money. Good night. SD, SSD. Oops. I will do my best to have a good stream and honor the $5 that you have bestowed upon me. Um, either Gwendolyn, which is why Aldrich ate him, obviously. Um, hmm, yeah, or Priscilla. It's got to be one of those two. Actually, isn't there a giant spectral deer, the ancestor spirit? Venison is pretty tasty. Not my favorite. I don't like meat generally, but or just like the flavor of meat on its own. But spectral meat might be good. Margot pulling out a book to just like opening slurs for whatever you are on Google. What are some slurs for this demographic? Okay, if you were also a spirit, then they would taste good. Thank you, Emily, for the $5. Are you the Emily that is also a member? Because I feel like you're giving me more money than I deserve. Thank you so much. Hit Elex Gundyr second phase for best tasting. The Puss of Man, huh? I don't know. I'm not into men. Isn't tarnished already kind of a slur? Yeah, I was gonna say. Tier list for how bigoted each boss is. I feel like the demons in this game, the Asylum Stray and Demon Fire Sage. I feel like the Stray and Asylum Demon would be bigoted, but the Demon Fire Sage wouldn't be, just because they hang out with the other demons. I don't know why. Patches? I don't know. Patches is kind of a stand-up guy. Like, I know he kicks you down into a pit several times through the series, but he also only does it because he thinks you're, like, a bad person, right? Because, let's be honest, 90% of the people in Dark Souls are bad people. And I feel like that's a pretty safe assumption, all things considered. Oh my god, thank you for joining. That's the highest tier. That's $10. People are giving me too much money. Gwyn is also absolutely bigoted. Radigan and Marika are not bigoted at all, just because they're like basically trans. I feel like the person with the biggest list of slurs, however, would be like Gideon. He knows all the slurs. Radigan, I mean, I don't think it makes sense to distinguish between Radigan and Marika, because they're like kind of the same person. I don't know. I'm trying to think what the... Vendrick would do that, but only because he's trying to be like a good like uncle figure, you know? I think Vendrick would be very chill and understanding and not understand why being a king is evil. Seatown, are you okay? Godric is only bigoted because he wants to be superior. Gideon is bigoted because he's like one of those alt-righters that thinks they're one of the smartest people in the world, and just like Gideon wants to be superior in terms of knowledge, but they don't understand that knowledge is like a very subjective thing at times. It's not the best weapon in any like measurable way. What was I doing? Very large number. It's not the best weapon in any measurable way. I just really like it. It's my favorite weapon. So to me, it's the best weapon. Where was I? Oh, Manus would absolutely be extremely bigoted. 100%. I'm gonna kill this guy. Godfrey, not Godfrey. What do you think about Godfrey? We don't know enough about him, I don't think, but I think it'd be funny to make up a headcanon. I do have, not with my new voice actually, I was gonna say I do have a lot of full playthrough like streams and stuff, but that was a long time ago and my voice was a lot worse back then. But I would love to do a lot more streams, a lot more, like, just not Let's Plays, but stuff like this. Like I did the 3-hour video in, what was that game? It was like the French robot Souls-like. The French Revolution's robot Souls-like. I did that at level 1, or with no upgrades and no healing and no consumables other than the one healing consumable you get. I feel like Dark Souls 2 at level 1 with only life gems. Yeah, Steel Rising. I would love to do more videos like that, but actually commentated. Or like the commentated speedrun I did for CarQuest. Stuff like that. Gideon is absolutely a 4-tainer. That is such a good way to put that. I think it would be really funny if Godfrey was just the exact opposite of Gideon. I don't know why I'm getting that. I'm not going to kill any ghosts. Like, he was locked up for being a bigot, but like too much of a bigot, like even more than Godric. And Godric was just not having it, so he locked him up. And he learned his lesson. That's my headcanon about Godfrey now. So yeah, he was too bigoted. And now he's super chill. I feel like I see a lot of, not a lot of, because I don't really engage with it very often, but every time I see videos or like interviews of people who have been in prison, they're just like the coolest people. And like they happened to do something heinous, or I mean sometimes didn't, and were still put in prison for whatever reason. Godric wanted to be the biggest bitch in all the land. Oh, okay, so I think that actually says bigot. It does. So on my screen, the heart icon in the bottom right of the chat like obscures bigot, and I totally read that as bitch, but I think that's funnier. That's my headcanon. Godric wanted to be the biggest bitch. Oh, I should probably equip this. Oh my god, people are clicking the heart. Or one person is just spamming it a lot. Who knows? I didn't even know that was a thing for the longest time. I don't know why it's there. Come on, hit him in the face. Okay, whatever. There we go. I really like that about Dark Souls 1. It makes it not easier to learn. I mean, it does also make it easier to learn. But it makes it feel better to like learn how the bosses work. So like, you're not going to get 600 attacks in a row like you would with Pontiff learning. Yeah, and it makes it a lot easier to not be greedy. God, I am so greedy when I fight the Abyss Watchers every single time. Whoa, hey there, guy. What's the deal with the one Dark Wraith in the High Wall of Lothric? Is there anything to that guy, or is he just kind of chilling there? I know he's like guarding Grey Rat, but like why? Did someone put him there? Or is it just like a thing that ended up happening for whatever reason? I don't know anything about Dark Souls 2 or 3. I know nearly everything there is to know about Dark Souls 1. All the crazy obscure mechanics and weird item locations that you would never think of or remember. But I don't know anything about Dark Souls 2 or 3. Just because I, like, obviously I have a lot more time in Dark Souls 1, but I still have several hundred hours in the other games. I think I have 250 in Dark Souls 2. I have 300 or 200 in Dark Souls 3. I just don't know anything about it. Other than like how to fight most of the bosses. I feel like Placidusax would be like, he's not intentionally bigoted, he just grew up as a bigot. And now that he's like he's old, he's like a grandpa, right? If he had grandchildren, he'd be super accepting of whatever they did. He just doesn't quite understand it. I really want to do Dark Souls 2 and 3 challenge runs, and even just like stuff like this that I'm doing with Dark Souls 1 right now. But I'm really bad at it. I don't think that would be super interesting to watch. So right now I'm working on a challenge run for Dark Souls 3, challenge run, quote unquote, using the Great Scythe. For now, I'm using the Great Scythe. Like what the backlogs. Yeah, what the backlogs did with this game. Scythes only. Dark Wraith broke out last. Poor guy. They left him behind. But yeah, I really want to learn Dark Souls 2 and 3. I really like Steel Rising, though it's not like great. How do I put this? Like, there is a very, very obvious, I don't know if they patched it, but when I played, which was like right after release, the best build by far was just the ice gun, because you could freeze enemies from a distance and then approach and kill them with literally no threat at all. If you avoid that, depending on the weapon, like there's a weapon that lets you parry and it's really, really fun to use. It's really fun to play. However, I think if you're looking for a non-From Soft Souls, like, you could do better with like Thymesia. Thymesia level design isn't great. It's very linear. It's a lot more Demon Souls than Dark Souls, but the bosses are so good. I love the bosses in Thymesia. But Steel Rising does have, I would say, has better level design. I don't know what I'm doing. I need to get chunks. Why can't I remember where chunks are? Thank you so much, Tori. That's $10 more. That's so much money. Hollow Knight's pretty good, but I wouldn't really call it a Souls-like beyond being difficult. I think Millennia would be also very accepting. I mean, she would have to be to care about Mikla in a way other than what Moog does. Yeah, Moog would be a chaser. Moog would absolutely be a chaser. Salt and Sanctuary. I didn't like Salt and Sanctuary. That said, I didn't get very far. I got to the area. I killed the Taurus Demon. I don't remember its actual name. I killed the Taurus Demon thing. And I killed the... Or no, that's the only boss I did. I got to the area below, like the first area, I think. And I just kind of ended up giving up. It didn't hit with me. I'm not sure why. So I haven't played Sacrifice either. There are a lot of really good, like, indie Metroidvanias. Or Metroidvania Souls-likes in the vein of Hollow Knight. Obviously, Crowsworn is a really big one that's going to be coming out soon. I backed that on Kickstarter a long time ago. I am so excited for it. But there's also one called After Image, which I really liked. I think it was After Image. That one was fun. The Momodora series is really, really good. I think there are only 2 on Steam right now, but I really liked those games, the ones that I played. Are you kidding me? I'm so upset. I don't know if I can heal through this. There was another one that was like, I think a Chinese game. I'm just gonna die. I don't think I'm gonna be able to heal through this. It was like a Chinese name. It was put in the Death's Door Discord server and off topic because it was like one of those Metroidvania style Souls-likes, and people in that server liked them. But someone was like, well, the reviews say the difficulty is way too high. I was like, oh, well, I like difficulty. I'll go in and let you know what it's like. And then there was a huge difficulty spike with one of the later bosses. It was super fun, but it was so hard, and I just did not have the time to learn it. I spent like an hour or 2 on that boss and just could not get past it. I tried to play Neo. That was another game. Neo and the one with like the scrap. What game was that? It's another Souls-like. And you're like a cyborg or whatever. And the upgrades are like getting cores or something. Anyway, those 2 were both ones that I didn't like. The level design in the scrap one was really, really bad. Or at least from what I played. I only played the first like hour maybe. But Neo I also didn't love. Mostly because of the combat. Gideon would absolutely do that. And someone would call him out for it, and he'd be like, "What? That's their name." But he would absolutely not use their, because he doesn't believe in that. He would use the pronoun that they're not comfortable with. And then be like, what are you talking about? They're not even trans. They just changed their name. Like, oh, well. And he would just like dip. Lies of P, I did not like the demo at all. I got through most of it, I think. I got through like... I played for like another half an hour after reaching what I assume was supposed to be the main hub. Yeah, the Surge, that was the game I was thinking of that I didn't like. The Surge and the Surge 2. I didn't like them at all. Anyway, are you kidding me? Why am I bad at the video game? Wait, I'm gonna go back up and kill him. Liza P, I didn't like the demo because it relies a lot on reflecting, but the reflecting doesn't do anything. It's just like another dodge. I don't know, I didn't like it. I didn't like how the combat worked in Liza P. Lords of the Fallen, I played like an hour of that, and I got stuck because of the level design. But I'm sure if I got back into it, I'd end up really liking it. Ashen sounds really fun. It looks really fun. I really like the art style, that's the word, and everything, and the aesthetic of it. But I didn't play it because I didn't like that it was intended for co-op. I don't know, I just couldn't get into that portion of it. I don't think any game in general I like as much as Dark Souls. Conquest is up there as one of the games that really just hit me, right? In terms of how much I like it. But for Dark Souls, it's just something different, and I really have no idea why right now. What makes the game special, and then the Gwendolyn video essays. I explored that a lot. And I think the Gwendolyn video essay really does hit a lot of why I like Dark Souls 1, but there's more to it, and I really don't know what it is. I wonder... the sharpening mechanic... I actually kind of like the sharpening mechanic. Boss fight where you have to find an opportunity to heal, but instead of healing, you know, you're not making a mistake. You're doing what the game asks you, but you still have to do that. I didn't like that. Or I can see why you wouldn't like that, rather. I have played Mortal Shell. I didn't get very far. I liked it. I really liked it, but the level design was really confusing, and I just didn't feel like learning it at the time. I should go back and actually try to play that. Oh my god, Trev. $20, that's so much money. Stop giving me money. I mean, don't. I would love to be able to make a living off this, but that's so much money. Victory. Well, I'm trying to catch up with chat while also attempting to run through the swamp. Yeah, dodging feels useless. No, dodging feels like the correct response because of how little deflect. Cool and interesting idea, though I haven't gotten far enough to understand what it does and like how they take advantage of it. Because if they don't really evolve it from what they did in the first like hour or two, then yeah, I can see why you wouldn't like it. But I think it's more of an interesting gimmick than annoying. Payday. Understandable that you would feel a little bit more splurgy. An ex liking something and then disliking something is one of the worst reasons to dislike something, but I absolutely have that experience. I like Bloodborne. I like Bloodborne a lot. Just not nearly as much as, you know, Dark Souls 1 or 2. I would put it behind Dark Souls 1, 2, and Sekiro, and then Bloodborne. And then, I don't know, I'm kind of stuck between... I don't know why I thought that was going to be a stab. My brain just shut off and forgot the moveset. Anyway, Dark Souls 3 and Elden Ring, I have a really hard time placing. I put Demon Souls below Bloodborne. I really, really like Bloodborne. And then Dark Souls 3 and Elden Ring are the two that I shit-talked the most. So going from a game that I really, really like to two games that I don't quite as much. I think that's the biggest drop in preference for me. Oh my god, that's so much money. Thank you so much. I don't even know how am I supposed to respond to that? That's too much money. What? Clearly you have too much money for your own good. I'm stunned. Okay. Hey, the crack. I know that you chose the name because of the like Minecraft channel, but I was like, is that the real one for a second? Because I used to watch them a long time ago. I haven't watched them in years. I don't even know if they're still uploading at all. That is so much money. I'm baffled. I have, speaking of other Souls-likes and also non-Souls-likes, I have a couple other games I want to do challenge runs in. I want to do, so I did Ocarina of Time without a sword months before the backlogs did it. Recording live and then pausing the recording. There wasn't really much editing for that video. But I want to do that with Majora's Mask because the backlogs hasn't done it. And now I actually have some traction on my channel. I wouldn't recommend going back and watching my Ocarina of Time without a sword video. Mostly because I don't like my voice back then. I played a little bit of The Witcher 3, but I also played on normal difficulty because I'm not good at games with a lot of prep stuff. Like obviously I can do it in Dark Souls, but that's just because I know where every single thing is because I've played it for 600 hours. So I feel like that's a little bit of an exception. People are too generous. I feel bad. That's so much money. Minoan? Yeah, on my channel there's a shelf called Based Souls Creators. Minoan's on there, along with Tori and the backlog, and I should put Trev on there. But I watched Minoan. I started watching Minoan, I think... I don't remember the video. I want to say it's the alphabetical one, but that was that other guy. No, it's not a guy. That's not what I mean. But that other person. Sorry. My voice is like crack because it's good. I appreciate that. If that's what it means. Yeah, hating your voice is a $20 more. Why 21.24 exactly? I'm good. People are too generous. This is messed up. It's not his clothes, it's his sister's clothes, and that's his sister's grave. And he gets really angry because he cares about his sister. Oh, could I do it one more time? Oh yeah, you get one. From Quaylag. Crack equals good. Okay, good to know. Uneven numbers. I'm glad my voice is nice to listen to. I got that one, or before I transitioned, but I didn't like my voice back then. I like my voice a lot more now. So, I would say you should watch Vadi if you want to learn the lore, but the Prepare to Cry series is good. I know there was something about like plagiarism allegations. I don't know what the result of that was. But if there's another better lore YouTuber, or if plagiarism didn't happen, you know. I think at this point, I like my voice just because it fits my self-image a lot more. Before I transitioned, obviously, my voice was a lot lower. And I thought I liked having a low voice, but I didn't realize it was giving me gender dysphoria. It's not like I have a super high voice now. I like having a low voice relative to other women, especially cis women, on average, obviously. But I like that it's higher than it used to be, and also a lot more like resonant, I think is the word for how that works. Epic name, bro. I have heard that before, but I feel like I've watched that channel, but I don't remember what they did. I'm still baffled that people are giving me so much money. This is messed up. I feel that way about everything that gains any sort of traction that I do. Like 3,500 subscribers is insane. I was stunned when I got 1,000 subscribers, you know? But then it just kept going. It's scary. I don't know. For me, I didn't really figure out my voice. It just kind of happened this way, and I ended up liking it. That's how a lot of things happen for me. Things just kind of work out, which is extremely fortunate, and I recognize that I am very privileged relative to a lot of people in that way. I like when I was trying to move out of my grandparents, because I moved to my grandparents because, or my grandma's specifically, because she lived in a place that I wanted to be. So I was staying with her until I was able to like get a job and get money and stuff to find a place. But then I did get a job really easily because my grandpa at the time, who was living with, or not my grandpa technically, but the guy who I treat as my grandpa basically, who was living with my grandma at the time, was had a job that I was also able to get really easily because of the recommendation. And then I got roommates because they were looking for roommates and happened to be doing the exact same thing that I was, staying with. I think it was their mom actually. So I got very, very lucky in terms of that. And now where I'm living now, I'm living with, same thing happened basically. They wanted to move here, near where I was, and I knew them, so I moved in with them. 10K would be insane. I already think, like at this point, like the DPS video, the first DPS video is nearly at 100,000 views. That's absurd. That's so many views. That's so many times people have seen that thumbnail, clicked on it, and watched enough that YouTube registered it as a view. That is stupidly high. But like at this point, it feels like 5,000 is inevitable. It still feels like I will never get. I mean, look at what I'm acting like already. I want to sing as well. I'm not good at singing. I used to be. I was in choir. I did like a quartet thing in high school. 4 of us did like a barbershop quartet. It's not like it was a huge school with a ton of people, and I just happened to be one of the best. I was just one of the best in that group. That's how it usually is for me. I'm the best at a lot of things among my friends. Obviously not everything, but like anything that I'm good at, I'm the best among my friends. And then among most people, I end up being average at best. It's great. I love being too good to play games with my friends and then not good enough to do them like competitively. That's how I got with Smash. So I just kind of got bored because I wasn't able to get good enough to be competitive at Smash. So I just kind of stopped playing it. Yeah, Yumfa. I really wish I watched Yumfa, but I can't because he doesn't talk, or because they don't talk in their videos. Otherwise, I would watch Yumfa all the time. I put videos on in the background. I don't like specifically paying attention to videos. Oh, Halo. It's been quite a while since I've streamed, and you were here for it. Well, I mean, it's been a while since I've streamed, flat out. I love writing notes that I will never understand in the future. Yeah, Yumpa videos seem so interesting to watch, and then I just don't, because I don't want to read. I like the idea of uploading weekly, and for now I can keep that up pretty well. I have a ton of ideas, and they're all relatively easy to execute. And like, even if they weren't, I can do an easy idea in between. But I don't think I'm going to be able to keep up that pace for very long. Last time I streamed was Death's Door with the double enemies mod, I think, without rolling. The second part of that was my last stream. So if you didn't watch that, then the time before that was the other Death's Door double enemies thing. And then the time before that, I think, was the actual Death's Door no roll playthrough. That was really fun. I really like that video. That's one of my favorite videos, favorite gameplay videos I've made. But I prefer the way I'm doing it now. That was a lot more, not heavily edited. It's very similar to how I edit now. But there were some things that I did in that I probably wouldn't do now in the same way. That was a really fun video to make though. And the Tunic no roll as well. Tunic and Death's Door are, and Titan Souls, obviously, are some of the best games I've ever played. For a long time, aside from the Orange Juice video, which was... I still don't understand why that blew up so much. That video sucks. The Titan Souls and Death's Door videos were some of my most viewed videos on the channel. And those ones are very fun to make. And I'm glad that those ones did well, because they were some of my favorite videos I've ever done. They're fun to make. They're fun to go back and watch. I watch my videos all the time because I just don't remember the process of making them. They're like, oh, this is interesting content that I've never seen before. Titan Souls. It's by Acid Nerve, the same people who did Death's Door. I won't spoil anything. If you are going to play Death's Door, there's a lot of design stuff from Titan Souls that make it better. I would highly recommend... I should have a plus 15 by now. I would highly recommend playing Titan Souls before Death's Door. Tunic is incredible. Lumpy, you joined because of Orange Juice, huh? I think. I know most people who... most legacy viewers, for lack of a better term, joined because of Orange Juice. And I love making video essays so much, but I also really like doing challenge runs, especially with Dark Souls being like my comfort game. I'm so good at this game. Not sleeping is fun though. Sleep deprivation is enjoyable. You were? Oh yeah, you were in a couple. You were in the Spyro streams. I remember that. I can't believe I forgot. If you have played Death's Door, I highly recommend also still playing Titan Souls. But Death's Gambit, isn't that the roguelike platformer? No, that's... Is it? I don't remember. I feel like in order to enjoy Dark Souls, you must be a masochist on some level. So somehow that comment doesn't surprise me. Whoa. I've beaten Orange Student Smo without getting hit on soul level 1 with like such low damage. And yeah, I can't do it with like my favorite weapon in the game. It's really a Dark Souls moment. What? Wombo combo. Oh my god, I forgot about Equinox. Does he still stream? I'm sure he does. First time viewer? You mean like you've never seen any of my videos? You just happened to see the stream and click on it? I'm trying to bend your spine. I would love for him to give me a massage. It would hurt so bad, but it would be the most blissful day afterward before you get all the muscle kinks back, because why not? I completely understand that. Not wanting to be called a masochist. But it's also not entirely untrue of most of the people that I know. Like, they're actual masochists. Not necessarily extreme masochists or whatever. They just have those tendencies and also play Dark Souls. I don't doubt they're linked. However, I don't call anyone a masochist just because they play Dark Souls. First time watching stream. I mean, this is the first time I've streamed in a long time. Yeah, because the only other... Yeah, actually, I don't think I've ever had any big streams. This is very interesting. This is a lot more fun than not having very many viewers. But I'm also not at the point where I have thousands of viewers, so I can like actually engage with everyone. Hello, Anthony. Welcome to the stream. Doesn't YouTube chat have emojis that you can add? But yeah, like, again, a lot of people I know who play Dark Souls are also masochists, like actual masochists that I call masochists for a good reason. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't say Dark Souls is inherently full of suffering. I know people who don't like suffering who like Dark Souls for various reasons. Broken heart emoji. Typing on emojis is objectively funnier. I agree. A good reason to call someone a masochist is because they are a masochist, such as deriving pleasure from pain. A lot of people like Dark Souls because of the feeling of like joy and elation you get when you overcome a hard challenge. But and that's also why I like it. But I think it's funny to say that I like Dark Souls because I like the pain itself. Something, bitterness of the peel, Bennett Foddy. Getting over it is such a... I would if I could. Getting over it is such a interesting game. It got maligned a lot. Its philosophy got maligned a lot, and I don't think it's like great philosophy or whatever, but I think it's really interesting and really fun to listen to. I really liked getting over it. It was fun. You almost cried. I don't remember that. The challenge is the best part for some people because the challenge itself is fun. For others, because the elation that you get when overcoming the challenge. I mean, you are welcome to if you would like. Grumpy. Yeah. I mean, the more pain you experience, the more relieving the pleasure is. If you experience too much pleasure, your happy medium will rise. And while I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, having a higher happy medium means you're happier generally. It's easier to enjoy the small things. So if you are experiencing pain, I think it's okay to revel in that elation that you get once you escape it. I think making the most of your scenario is the best way to do things. So if you're in pain, look forward to when you will not be in pain, and think of that as what will be the best moment of your life. And if you're not in pain, try to be even happier. I don't know how much of a masochist I am. I'm also like super sensitive because of like autism. I'm very I have like hypersensitivity to various, what's the word, to various senses. Jeez, I cannot think. But like, so like anything that would be minorly painful is a lot more painful for me. But I enjoy it to a less, or to about the... So in terms of like actually how it feels, I would probably be considered a masochist. AA batteries. If you don't know, that's a channel that Anthony and I ran. Uploaded random gameplay videos to for a long time. Not a long time, it was like 3 years. I think 2 or 3 years. But it was very fun. And we called it that because my name is also used to start with an A, so... I don't think masochism itself is a good mindset for life, but the mindset that leads to masochism is a good mindset for life. I also really like, that's not true. I don't like stoics being able to control your reaction to how you feel, or to separate like things that make you feel different ways. Like you don't just get to choose how you react to that. And some people have a lot more control over that than others, right? So saying that stoicism is the best philosophy is just wrong because a lot of people can't follow it. But I think the idea that you should try to react in the best possible way is a good thing if you are capable of that, right? Why am I cutting out? That doesn't make sense. My internet's good here. Oh, okay. OBS said it disconnected. However, it now says it's connected again, so I think I'm okay. Hopefully. Hopefully I'm not cutting out anymore. Yeah, feel free to not share your personal feelings and emotions and stuff on YouTube chat. No, the 2 messages thing was also me. It could be Anthony activities. It could also be internet activities. Discord through heart emoji. Discord though heart emoji. Oh, okay. Heart emoji, typing out heart emoji. That was confusing. Go away. Unfortunately, no, you cannot pet the dragon. If only. If there was a Discord boss... Discord, what? A Dark Souls boss that I would want to pet, it would be Priscilla. Sif is a boring answer. What is your username in the Discord? I don't... Well, I mean, you don't have to say it on YouTube chat, obviously. You can punch the dragon. Well, oh, well, close enough. $2 whole. That's so much. Thanks, Anthony. Seriously though, thank you. Money is cool. I enjoy money. Anthony's super chat. And I hope that that is understandable and not a violation of your expectations for when you sent me money. However, I do very much appreciate the money. But it's also Anthony, so. Oh, Priscilla is part dragon. I forgot about that. Crossbreed Priscilla. So, yeah, if there was a dragon I could pet, it would also be Priscilla. Dark Souls boss, dragon, same thing. What? Where is she? Oh, right there. I always get so confused when trying to follow her footsteps. I don't know why. Dragon mommy. Indeed. If there ever was, it would be Priscilla. I want her tail. I don't know why. I will not be using it. I should get to plus 15. Chunks. There are 2 in New Londo. I already got one of them, and I might not need the other one. There's the 2 Black Knights, which I need to go kill. I also need to kill Taurus Demon. There's the 2 Giants. There's the one in front of... Yeah, so if I get a Titan Knight chunk from the Crystal Lizard outside the Taurus Demon boss arena, then I won't need to get the other one in New Londo, which would be preferable. Congratulations, Lumpy. You are officially better than Anthony. Thank you for the $4. I appreciate it very much. As much as it might not sound like it. Genuinely. I don't feel like I deserve any money for this. I'm just kind of playing a video game. Story behind that. Anthony was trying to say probably, but he typed out Roboboy. This is true. Lumpy has still sent 2 more cents. I know it's weird to talk about, but the analytics are probably my favorite part of having a decently sized YouTube channel now. Because like I would pay attention to them when my channel was smaller. Obviously, like I would pay attention to views and subscriber count and stuff, and obviously comments and interaction. But the analytics are super interesting because I get to see like what kind of people are watching, what stuff people watch other than me. Like right now, I think my most shared, like you can see what channels your viewers watch most other than, or yeah, what channels your viewers share in common most. I think for me right now, it's the backlogs. For a little bit, it was Illusory Wall, which was really interesting because he doesn't do challenge runs, right? He does Dark Souls Dissected and stuff. But I love, and then like, you know, Catalyst is really interesting to me too because he does mostly speedruns, I think. Little Aggie is up there, and again, he does do some Dark Souls stuff, so it's less surprising, but he mostly does Sekiro. Whoa. Instability damage. Crazy. The analytics are just some of the most interesting things to me. Oh, and seeing like what percent of the people who watch my channel are subscribed. A lot of people bring that up like, oh, only this many people are subscribed, so make sure you're subscribed. But for me, it's like, in what context would you be watching a channel and enjoying it and returning as a viewer, but not subscribing, right? And for me, those scenarios are genuinely just forgetting. So I started trying to remember to say that at the end of my videos, being like, hey, if you enjoyed this, make sure you subscribe, or subscribe if you want, right? But another reason that I might do that is because I might only want to watch 1 or 2 videos. Like before I did my nothing run, it was all my videos were like video essays and gameplay videos and walkthroughs and stuff that I wouldn't subscribe to a channel for, right? I would for video essays, but not if they're mostly doing gameplay. So I think the more Dark Souls videos I make, the bigger or the smaller that difference will get. It's like the more people who are watching my channel are subscribed. But just because I think the main reason that that percentage is so small is just because I didn't mostly do this for a long time. And I'm just kind of getting into it. So it makes sense that most people who see this and go to my channel aren't going to subscribe to it because they wouldn't subscribe for things that you know, they're being interested in for the first place. I don't think that's how the words should have been ordered, but you know what I mean. Forgetting to subscribe to a good channel is the most devastating thing. $2 more. You stole the back of my toilet. I don't think that's true. However, it would not surprise me if I'm forgetting something. Anthony is, for those of you who are not Anthony, Anthony is a weird person in the best way possible. Yeah, there are very few people that I like actively subscribe to. There are some people like that I like watching because it's fun to watch someone who does something similar to what you do. So like Tori, I'm subscribed to because she does challenge runs, basically very, very similar to what I do. Same with like Mino, and they're both trans women, right? Or like Trev the Dev does really interesting stuff in terms of like statistics for the game, but also challenge runs. And I think that's really fun to watch. But then there are people like, I don't know, Markiplier. I watch Markiplier all the time. Every time I see one of his videos, like, oh yeah, that if it's a game that I'm interested in, I'll click on it. I'll be like, oh, I like Markiplier. I'll watch his video. But I'm not subscribed to him because I'm just not, He's just not a channel that I watch frequently enough to warrant that. But then on the exact opposite end of the spectrum, I'm subscribed to the Game Grumps, but I never watch them just because I really, really like their content, but not in the form that they give it. I'm also subscribed to the Grumps. I really like Power Hour, but like just the Game Grumps channel. As much as I enjoy the content in the format that they post it, I should probably just go in from the bottom. What am I doing? And the way that they post it isn't as interesting to me anymore. Like there was a period where I watched thousands of Game Grumps videos in the course of a few months because I would just sit there and play games with Game Grumps videos in the background instead of video essays or audiobooks or whatever. But yeah, Markiplier is one of those. I think that's a very reasonable thing to happen with a channel like Markiplier, or a YouTuber, I guess, like Markiplier, just because he's so unanimously big that you probably watch him, but a lot of his viewers probably don't think of him specifically in the same way that you wouldn't for like your second favorite music artist, right? Titty Tuesday every day of the week, that is 100% understandable, but you also have to make room for Thigh Thursday, so I don't think Titty Tuesday every day of the week would be very sustainable. Thigh Thursday is also very important. But if we like alternate every other day, one day is Titty Tuesday, the next day is Thigh Thursday, I think that would work pretty well. I'm trying to think of other YouTubers. Like I'm subscribed to a few because I want to watch every single one of their uploads. Someone like, and I immediately forget the name. I had it on the tip of my tongue. What's his name? He's an engineer. He builds stuff, and it's like, he did the basketball hoop, the automatic basketball hoop in the pool cue. That guy. His videos are super interesting, and I want to watch every single one of them. Or like, there are others, and I just cannot remember them. I don't know, I guess that's why I'm subscribed to them, so I don't have to remember them. I did a thing I am subscribed to because he's really funny, but no, not that one. God, I can't remember his name. He did the automatic basketball hoop. He did the pool cue where you could like play online with other people, like physically with an actual pool cue. Like he would position it, and then the person online would tell where to shoot it. Scott the Waz. I haven't watched Scott the Waz in a lot. I really like Scott's Stash, but Scott the Waz, the channel Scott the Waz, is less interesting to me now. Alright, Lumpy, I trust you. He met up with Smarter every day at one point for his baseball bat. Yeah, Stuff Made Here. Yes, that guy. I also have guilty pleasure YouTubers that I'm not subscribed to, but I really like watching, like Lockpicking Lawyer. I have sat there and watched hours of Lockpicking Lawyer. But he's just like, here's a lock, click out of one. All right, we got that open. Thanks for watching. And that's every single one of his videos. But I love it so much. Oh, I didn't see your comment. I'm so sorry. I try to read them all, and I am not very good at reading, apparently. Where am I going? What am I doing? Black Knights. Okay. Why didn't I warp? Whatever, it's fine. Is that Scott the Wolf? You've cursed me to do the same thing. Hey y'all, Scott here. Every time I hear hey y'all, I think Scott here. And it sucks, because I listen to Sonic music all the time, because I'm very autistic for Sonic. Sonic is like one of my biggest special interests. But I listen to Sonic music, and one of my favorite is Night of the Wind. But it starts with hey. I think it starts with hey all. And it just makes me think of Scott every single time, and it's so frustrating. Sonic music is like unironically good most of the time. There's some not so great ones. Seven Rings in Hand comes to mind, but I know a lot of people also really like Seven Rings in Hand, which I do not understand at all. all our hopes and dreams and just one single hand. And you just like can't understand half the lyrics unless you already know what they are. I went to a Sonic Symphony. That was very, very fun. That was one of my favorite experiences I've ever had. I didn't go to concerts very much, ever. But when I did, I was a Christian, so it was like Skillet or For King and Country or whatever. And at the time, they were bands I really liked, but just the atmosphere of a concert based around Christian bands and one based around just like an interest that everyone there has is so different. And the Sonic Symphony was genuinely such a unique and fun experience. Josh Strife Plays and Josh Strife Hayes both make, or I mean, same guy, but he makes video game like retrospectives and reviews that I've been putting on in the background a lot. But King K did a lot of really, really good retrospectives on the Zelda series and on Pokemon. I love retrospectives. Liam Triforce is one. I don't know why, but Liam Triforce is one of those channels that if I see a video about a topic that I really, really like, I'll watch it. And I always end up liking the video. But when he makes a video about a topic that I'm not as interested in, I just won't watch it. And it's because it's Liam Triforce, and I do not understand why. I don't know what I dislike about him. The funny thing about that is I love Sonic even when I didn't like his games. Like a long time ago. I liked the Mario games more than the Sonic games, but I always liked Sonic more. And it took me, or I still don't really understand why that was. But it's just like, I don't know. I always liked the ethos of Sonic more than Mario, as well as just like everything else surrounding it. And now I love a lot more Sonic games. Like the classic games I've grown an appreciation for. I wouldn't say I love them. But Sonic 1 and 2 are fun, in a way. And then, like, Sonic 4, Episode 1 is so good. Sonic Adventure is one of my favorite games. Sonic Colors was really fun. I don't know, there's just a lot of Sonic games I really like. And there are also a lot of Sonic games that I really don't like. Sonic 3 and Knuckles is one of those. I do not like Sonic 3 and Knuckles. I do not like Sonic Generations. I don't like... Oh my god, that one-shot him? Okay. I don't like Sonic Unleashed. But still. Oh yeah, yeah, it's the passion. I think the reason Sonic fans are so passionate is because they're autistic. And I don't know why. I don't understand why that's the demographic that gets attracted to Sonic. But in my experience, all the Sonic fans that I personally know are autistic, including myself. Passionate. Sonic is fast. He's the fastest thing alive. Hello? Okay. I was gonna say I watch a competitive Pokemon YouTuber, even though I don't play competitive Pokemon, but I have no idea who you're talking about. If they also talk about Worms. Worms is so good. It's like those games are so stupidly fun. I started making videos about CarQuest because it was a game that I adored that I just hadn't seen any content on. Granted, I started playing it like... No, I started playing it like 2 years after it came out, huh? Yeah, never mind. I was going to say I started playing it pretty soon after it came out, but I guess it wasn't that soon. But there was just no content on it, so I just started making speedruns and walkthroughs and reviews and video essays about it. I just did... but, I mean, none of them ever caught on because it was CarQuest, and that's fine. I just put them out there for people who also happen to adore CarQuest for any reason. I think listening to stuff about obscure stuff is interesting, but also annoying because like I want to get into it, but it's obscure for a reason most of the time. Like, I want to play Pathologic, but I don't think I would be able to get through it. Like, there's a reason Pathologic isn't or was obscure before. H. Bromberg guy talked about it. There are a lot of games like that. Honestly, making a video essay about a game that no one else has done a video essay about before is a very enjoyable experience. That's one of my favorite things to do. Obviously, I mean, most of the video essays on my channel are about Quest, but I need to get back into that. I want to speedrun that again. I want to get a better run than my sub 30, but I would need to play the game so much to be able to do that. Just because, like, I was actually good at the game. Okay, once I get a plus 15, I'll go to Gaping Dragon and then Bed of Chaos. I've eaten a bowl of cereal today. I woke up at like noon and it's 8 o'clock. I should eat something after this. Why didn't I just warp from the moonlight or the sunlight altar? What am I doing? I'm just running around. I'm just playing the game. This sounds fun. I need to get the Titanite chunk from down here. Eating is indeed a good idea. I have so many games in my Steam library that I want to play so bad, but just never do because I just like don't have it. It's like having a lot of really good food to eat, but not wanting to eat any of it. I have, I think, 1,000 games in my Steam library, if you include free games. 900 something if you don't include free games. All right, sleep well, and thank you for the luck. I will probably need it. I know that this Titanite chunk is really annoying to get if you don't kill the enemies, but I'm just gonna run. I think it's this right here. Yeah, cool. Come on. Yes. What? Excuse me? There's a ghost here? How did you get here? What? Okay. Of the Steam games in my library, I have played definitely significantly less than half. I've played, I want to say, like 200 of them at most. And I've actually beaten fewer than that. Definitely. I've beaten maybe 50, and most of them were like the really short games. Undead Parish. Andre, that's where I need to go. Alright, plus 15, and then we can go kill a bunch of bosses. Maybe I should do 4 kings first. Place the Lord Vessel that way. Oh, Baba Z was so good. I love that game. It's very, very hard later on. I don't think I beat it, but I really like it. Yeah. That and it's like A Monster's Journey or something, where you're like a monster rolling around logs on a bunch of islands, and like looking at museum exhibits or something. That's a very, very good puzzle game. I played those two right next to each other. I also wanted to play Steven's Sausage Roll, but that is also a very hard game. And it was hard to the point that I had no idea how to even start learning it. So I didn't end up getting into it, unfortunately. Like, some of them can be difficult a little bit, but like 99% of the time, you solve the puzzle in like a couple minutes. And so, I don't know. I like Portal. I really like the first two Portal games, as if there are other ones. But the first one especially, I love Portal 1. But it feels too easy for me to like really get into, personally. I love puzzle games. Puzzle games like Tunic and Zelda are probably my favorite kind of puzzle game. Oh, I don't have the crest, right? But there's also like, um, I don't know. I like a good Sudoku every now and then, or like a nonogram. I love nonograms. Nonograms are so good. Just like pure puzzle experiences. Flow free. I love flow free. It's not hard for me anymore. um, the extreme puzzles I beat in a minute or two at most, which really sucks because I really like the hard flow free puzzles, but there just aren't any anymore. Um, but like pure puzzle experiences are so fun. But like again, something like Zelda, giving it framing, it's really interesting too. Though again, Zelda puzzles are pretty easy most of the time, which is disappointing. It doesn't help that I've already played all the games. I've heard the hardest one in terms of puzzles is either Oracle of Ages, which I really, really want to play. But I haven't yet because, again, so much good food in the fridge, but I don't want to eat any of it. And Twilight Princess also has really hard puzzles. I really, really like Twilight Princess for that reason. What do you mean by intense? It's like in terms of difficulty, or like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, how crazy it is? I don't know. I don't know what word I'm trying to think of, but like how visually striking it is. Intense in the way that, in terms of difficulty, or in terms of like Thumper is. I think one of the only relaxing games that I spent any amount of time on was Animal Crossing. I played New Leaf for a little bit, but I really played a lot of New Horizons. And then I played for like a year. I had every single fish available at the time, without like time skipping, obviously. Every single bug. I had every single fossil within like 6 months. Or I think it was that quick. It was pretty quick. I played constantly. I had millions of bells because of the turnip market. I loved that game so much. But then I just kind of fell off of it, and it's so hard to get back into. But platformers are probably my favorite genre, despite how much I love puzzle games, just because I love being able to control the character. Like that's why I like Car Quest too, because controlling a car just feels nice. Stardew Valley is very good. I spent like, um, I'd have to ask the person I played with, but we spent a lot of time, at nearly 100 hours on a single farm. I just like the visceral feeling that you get when you control the character like that. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it beyond that. It's just like, it makes my brain happy, the way the characters control in platformers. Let's see. Crest of Artorias. Like when I'm just sitting there bored, the very first thing my brain wants to do is control a character who can do more than I can. And the way Car Quest feels is usually what I want to go to. But, you know, with how much I've played Dark Souls, or Car Quest rather, like, it's hard to get that same visceral, like, learning how to control it is really fun. And then having that mastery is also really fun, but it's a different thing, and sometimes I'm yearning for learning the mastery. So I'll go play something like, I don't know, Rollin' Rascal was really good. I played the demo during the Next Fest quite a bit, just because it feels good to play that game, and I was having fun learning how to control the character. And then there's like all the Sonic games, all the 3D Sonic games at least. Spark the Electric Jester was really fun. The second one anyway. Spark the Electric Jester 2 was really good. 1 was all right, but it was a 2D platformer, and I don't love 2D platformers nearly as much as 3D platformers. Spark the Electric Sister 3 had a lot of really annoying gimmicks that I didn't like the vehicle sections and stuff. Yeah, just like the way characters feel to control in platformers is just such a unique thing, specifically to platformers, and it just scratches my brain in the perfect way. Am I wearing any rings? I'm not. This is just a very pure Scythe playthrough. I want to finish it tonight, but I also didn't expect to have to do Send Skip 3 times, so we'll see how far I actually get. I'll play for like another hour and a half at most. My voice is getting pretty tired though because I haven't streamed in so long and I'm just not used to this. But again, I would absolutely love to beat this tonight. Should do the Gaping Dragon before I forget, actually. I was going to say 4 Kings next, but if I don't do Gaping Dragon now, I'm probably going to forget. And then I can go fight the 4 Kings, place the Lord Vessel, and then do Bed of Chaos or something. That's not the way to the depths. Yeah, like, there were a couple platformers that got really popular that just didn't interest me because the character wasn't fun to control. Neon White is the exact opposite of that. I loved Neon White because of the way the character controlled. It just felt so fluid and controlled so well, and it felt like I was the character in a way, if you know what that means, if you know what I mean, in terms of getting into that flow state and just understanding how to control the character. Roland Rascal is another where you can only move in, or I mean, like, your only abilities are moving and jumping. It's just very stale. Not stale. It's very simple, and you don't have the kind of control over the character that you would want from a platformer. At least I don't want from a platformer. Froggun is a lot more about the gimmick than the actual movement, which doesn't work for my brain. Neon White is very, very good. I like it because of the gameplay, but I understand why you would like it because of the story. I have never had the dog fall down this far. I didn't know it could do that. I've never noticed these piles of corpses. I genuinely just thought they were like these things, but smaller. I had no idea these were piles of corpses. That is such a weird thing to not notice for so long. Yeah, I would highly recommend playing Neon White if you already like it and haven't played it. I had a game like that for a long time. The Ace Attorney series. I really liked it. And then I did end up playing it. I ended up buying it as like a depressive impulse purchase because I was like, or back in high school, I was like genuinely really depressed. I mean, like obviously I still have depression, but I don't suffer from it as much. But I was just really feeling down and just bought it on a whim. Played through the entire trilogy in a matter of weeks, and I loved it so much. But they're super fun to just watch anyway. I love the Ace Attorney games. I don't remember what the new one is called, but I know the Game Grumps are watching it, so I'll probably end up watching that. Danganronpa too. I want to get into Danganronpa, but I also just kind of want to watch the Game Grumps play it. I don't know. We'll see. I don't get depressed enough to make impulse purchases very often. At least not anymore. I think that was one of the main ones, and then I'm sure there were others, but I genuinely can't remember any of them. 4 Kings. The Persona series is another one like that. I really, really wanted to get into it at the end of 2018 when Joker was announced for Smash, because I was really into Smash at the time. And I really, really wanted to get into Persona because of it. But it just wasn't available on anything other than PlayStation. And now it's on Switch and PC, but I'm just not interested in it anymore. Like I don't have the same level of, oh my god, I want to play that as I did back then. And I think they really missed out on not having it available for Switch at that time. I don't know if they were able to. They might have had a contract with Sony or something. That wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, I don't know. I don't dislike turn-based stuff. There are a couple turn-based games that I really like. I mean, Pokemon, obviously. Though to be fair, I do like Pokemon more for the characters, the Pokemon, than anything else. That's why I like shiny hunting. But getting competitive Pokemon together is really fun as well. But there's also like, this is gonna sound so dumb. I think it's called Super Lesbian Animal RPG. And it sounded really dumb. But I got it. I don't remember how I got it. I don't remember buying it. Someone said it was good, and I just decided to play it, and I had a lot of fun with it. Though I don't think I ever beat it. Very interesting game. You play as a trans girl, which makes it better. Immediately. There are card games that I've really liked, but I've just never been able to actually get into them. I should put on the ring before I forget. Like, I really wanted to get into Hearthstone. Wanted to get into Hearthstone, but the gameplay, like, it was really fun, and I really liked it, and it was super fun to, like, learn how to play. But then once I knew, it was like, oh, I don't want to play this anymore. I don't know. Actually playing it is a lot less fun than learning how to play it. At least for me. I think you can dodge out by rolling to the side, but I don't know how or what the timing is. I beat this boss soul level 1 new game plus 6 earlier today, so I am mostly good at the 4 kings now. Yeah, Super Lesbian Animal RPG is pretty good. All things considered. Ooh. It wasn't, there was another one, there was a Flash game that I really liked. There's a Flash card game that I played when I was a kid and I had a lot of fun with it, but I have no idea what it was. I have no idea how to find it. I don't remember anything about it other than that it was a card game. And it was the first, like, card game I ever played. Dungeons and Dragons isn't a video game, but it's one of those things that I've always wanted to get into, but I've never, like, wanted to put in the effort to get into, I guess. In high school, I wanted to, but my parents were Christian. So they didn't want me getting into it. And then I just never did. At this point, I feel like I should get into it just to spite them. But there was a while where I just didn't want to get into it because trauma, basically. With how my parents didn't want me to get into it. But again, now I just kind of want to get into it to spite them because it's funny. Yeah, I would not be able to DM at all. But I know a lot of people who like DMing and who really like D&D, and we've wanted to do a thing, but we just never have yet. Truly the card game of all time. Card Jitsu from Club Penguin. What is the context of being allowed to DM? Was I DM'd? I do have 9 notifications on Discord. Yeah, to Last Isleth. Then I'll go do Nito, and then Hydra, then Duke's Archives. Then DLC. Oh, DM, not direct message, but Dungeon Master. My brain is not... Yeah, that makes more sense. Yeah, one of the hardest things for me about D&D is the immense amount of planning it takes to get so many people together on the schedule, and keeping that schedule is the hardest part for me. But like even outside of that, being able to have that schedule in the first place is really difficult. Like you have to figure out everyone who's going to play, how long they're going to be able to do it, and, figure out a day, and then for one person it just might not work well. You are correct. This is not Donkey Kong Country. I unfortunately do not enjoy Donkey Kong Country. I tried it and I wanted to get into it. I had it as a kid and played it a lot. But I never got very far because I was bad at video games as a kid. And now when I try to go back to it, I just cannot get into it. And I think the main reason I never got very far into it was because I didn't like it. I mean, it depends what game mode. Because if they were playing like Battle Royale, sure. But like, sometimes you just gotta get into those festival songs. They had to Call Me Maybe. I think it was today. No, yesterday. I don't know. Recently, they added Call Me Maybe, but it's not part of like the featured songs, and there's no way I'm gonna buy Call Me Maybe, but it would be really fun. I only play Fortnite because of Festival. But the rocket racing, now that it has the time trial mode, I like that a lot as well. I liked rocket racing without the time trial. I liked the racing, but I don't know. I think it's more fun as a time trial. I just like time trials more than actual races. I don't really know why. Just a brain thing. Just an autism thing, probably, if we're being honest. I don't like competitive games generally, really. That's why I never freeway except for Fortnite. Fortnite does Fortnite the worst of anything that it does. I think snake dancing to Gangnam Style is one of the best things to come out of Fortnite. The only rhythm games I play are Fortnite Festival and DJ Max. I got DJ Max because it was on sale, like a huge sale, and one of my friends played it a ton and really liked it. And then Festival I played because it's free and it's part of a game that my friends also play, and it's very similar to DJ Max, so. Yeah, I very much understand that. Playing Pokemon despite not liking Pokemon, or liking Pokemon despite disliking most aspects of Pokemon. Like I said, I'm mostly do shiny hunting. I think it's really fun to just grind for one meaningless thing for hours just to have it for whatever reason. I don't know. My brain just doesn't like competitive games. I adore Tetris. Tetris is one of my favorite games of all time. It's probably top 3, behind like Dark Souls and Car Quest. But I cannot play it competitively. Every time I try, I'll do significantly worse than I was doing on my own. Not just because of the junk, but because like I just cannot do things competitively, even if we're just doing like a sprint or like as soon as I'm trying to compare myself to someone doing it in real time, I just cannot. I do not have that consistency. But like I like competing in leaderboards. I'm number 54 switch up on Fortnite Festival. I'm about that good in Bloom. That'd be fun. Bloom's a fun song to listen to. What's so terrifying about Tetris? Um, I was playing, I think it was Mud Blocks with Anthony, at my grandma's house. And the way her house is laid out, you can see the TV in the living room from like the back of the back of the hallway, like near her bedroom, which is like at the very back of the house. Um, we just heard her yell from across the house, "Oh my god, it's Tetris!" Despite us obviously not playing Tetris. It might have been paneled upon. I don't remember. Yes, Scythe is my favorite weapon. Anthony, what were we playing? Was it Mudblocks? Been in anyway. It's just my favorite to use. That sucks. Why did you use that first? Anthony, I'm talking about the story. Oh my god, it's Tetris. Falchion's fine. I don't know. I just like the Scythe more. Claymore is a close second, I think. And then, I don't know, Falchion's probably in my top 10. It was Warrior's Woods. Yeah. I should be using the jump attacks and stuff more. I responded to the Pokemon comment by saying that's extremely relatable, and I have the same experience. And I like the shiny hunting, mostly. But I understand why you wouldn't like those aspects. That same, I think... No, it was the time after that Anthony came and visited me. After the, oh my god, it's Tetris incident. There was like a stink bug in the corner of my room the entire time he was there. We sprayed it with so much Raid. There is no way it should have survived. But it was just fine. It flew around a bunch. It was terrifying. Because both of us hate bugs. That was a interesting weekend. There was other funny stuff that happened, but I genuinely don't recall any of it at this moment. Anthony and I have had very funny interactions through the years. Do you have ADHD, Anthony? I actually didn't know that. That makes a lot of sense, though. Yeah, shiny hunting being similar to stimming. I understand that. That makes sense. I don't know. I don't dislike Pokemon stories. Can you stop? I'm right here. Please use better attacks for me. Thank you. I don't think Pokemon stories are like bad, but yeah, I hate spiders, especially spiders. I have like actually crippling arachnophobia. That sure was a hitbox. What the hell? Okay, I'm not even gonna try to defend that one. Now, spiders mess me up, but centipedes are just as bad. Centipedes aren't quite as bad. I would rather hold like a friendly centipede than a friendly spider at like a zoo exhibit or whatever. But I still hate both. I hate all bugs. Bugs are disgusting. Yeah, centipedes, I understand why centipedes would be worse than spiders for you, but my brain is extremely broken. Arachnophobia. I mean, logically it makes sense to hate spiders least, right? Because you, brain? Work, please? Because spiders kill other insects, all that. Yeah, it would make a lot of sense that you have ADHD, I think. More than 4 limbs. I don't know. I don't think that's a perfect rule. What about, like, mythological creatures? Like, you're telling me you hate centaurs? Centaurs are cool. Yeah, Appa has 6 legs. And a tail. That's like basically 7 limbs. 7 appendages. I wish Appa looked softer in the live action. That's my biggest critique of the live action. Yeah, little known facts, koalas have 17 limbs. You just can't see most of them because they're hidden under the fur. I think it depends on the context that I saw the centaur in. If it was like in public, I'd be like, oh, that's so cool. But if it was, I don't know, a scenario where like a hand is very small. I guess it depends on where you define the cutoff for small. Joltik isn't horrifying. Wait, no, Joltik only has 4 legs, huh? No, I'm not talking about the Avatar movie. I'm talking about the Netflix adaptation. Appa doesn't look soft enough. Horses are scary. I used to live on a farm, or rather my grandparents lived on a farm and I would visit them all the time. And they had a giant field with 1 horse in it. And I went to that field with my aunt because we were like feeding the horse. But then for some reason the horse scared me and I just took off running, which was the worst possible decision. I did make it back fine, but my aunt tried to chase me, ended up tripping, and I just kept running. Centaurs do have human intelligence, usually, yeah. And like, or sometimes they have a different kind of intelligence, but still like human level in terms of their reasoning. I don't know. Why am I killing this? This is fast. Anthony, don't you have pica though? I feel like you could eat a lot of things most people wouldn't. You have eaten things that most people wouldn't even think of eating. I don't think you're a very good way to gauge that. You don't need to elaborate. There's a reason everyone thinks Quelaag is the hottest Dark Souls boss. Or one of the hottest, at least. I don't know. Driders don't do it for me just because I hate spiders. But I understand centaurs. I know a lot of people really don't like the Bed of Chaos. But I don't really understand why. I like the Bed of Chaos. Aerosols, cardboard boxes, paper, metal sheets, and certain soft plastics. Why metal sheets? Glass consumer. That's a really funny series of words. Pica is just a condition that makes you want to eat non-edible things. It manifests differently for different people, just like all conditions. Is it usually a texture thing? Is that why is that like what pica is mostly for you? Or does it also have to do with like the act of consumption? Microplastics. I eat a credit card worth of plastic every week. Not for the woman part. That's so real. I understand completely. I chew my fingernails. Sometimes I swallow them. Just because I'll have them in my mouth. To like stim with. I'll just swallow them on accident. Same with thin paper. See, for me, paper always, every time I try to like chew on paper, because I've heard, because I had friends that did that a lot, it just ended up turning into gum. I didn't like that. Ooh. Hitless Bed of Chaos. What? This boss is so unfair and inconsistent. Yeah, paper makes me gag if I put it in my mouth. Which I feel like is the most normal possible response. Yeah, I get that. Okay, that makes sense. The taste of an aerosol is amazing. I wouldn't think that aerosol would be one of the things that it would be flavor for you. I don't know. That seems... Because, like, I feel like it would just be really bitter most of the time. Anthony eats soap all the time. Or, well, he did. He uploaded several instances of himself eating soap onto Instagram at one point. But it's like a good kind of bitter, like coffee. Cinnamon is... You know, I guess it kind of makes sense because you're not supposed to eat them. I would think most of them would be spicy, though. Considering you'll probably get chemical burns from most of them. Now, me personally, I do not enjoy eating most things. Erasers do not taste like peanut butter. What? I'm gonna have to heavily disagree with your friend. I don't know, I wouldn't consider myself a picky eater, but it's hard for me to find something that I specifically enjoy. There are things that I will eat because I don't dislike them, and that's like pretty much everything. But there are very few things that I specifically like. So the things that I do like end up becoming comfort foods, and then I eat them too much, and then they stop tasting good because I'm too used to them. I don't know. I should probably be... excuse me, pardon me. I thought erasers were a good texture. They looked so fun to bite, but the moment that I actually chewed on an eraser, I hated my life. I remember seeing like those erasers in the art room that were like white or like tan cubes. I was like, yes, that is what I want to be chewing on. That looks like the best thing that will ever be in contact with my tongue or my teeth. And then it wasn't. It was disgusting and awful, and I hated it. But it looked so nice. Usually taste is more important for me than texture, but there are some textures I can't stand. Like, I feel like if I tried uh, durian, I just wouldn't be able to stand it because of the texture, not even the taste. I really like eating. Most food makes me very happy, but some foods make me very normal. Or very not, no reaction. But the foods that I like make me very happy. I'm gonna put on that mask. Assuming it doesn't make me mid-roll. Okay. Haha, pinwheel dead fast funny. Something. My throat hurts really bad. My favorite weapon is a scythe, so to me it is the best weapon. The best weapon probably kind of depends on who you are, your playstyle, and all that. But the best weapon is probably Black Knight Halberd. People seem to have a penchant for not sleeping when they're supposed to in this stream. That seems to be a running theme. Sleep is good for you. You should sleep at good times. Well, okay, the time that you fall asleep isn't important. Getting enough sleep is. Unless you like have a schedule or whatever. Lucky me. I don't. Where am I? I am lost. Oh, I did not take the turn that I meant to. This way. Okay. I know where I'm at. Everything's fine. You sent me an epic DM about eating. Schedules are boring, but like sometimes you need them to live. It sucks. It's not fair. Schedules are dumb. But unfortunately, we live in a capitalistic nightmare where schedules are necessary to life. All right, sleep well, bitch beans. Have a good night. Oh my god, I cannot eat. I don't like the texture of most fruits. Like, I love the taste of oranges. And sometimes I'll just push through the texture because I love the taste, but it just feels like I'm chewing on plastic and my brain just hates that so much. Same goes for most of berries, or like any kind of fruit in yogurt. I love the taste, but I cannot stand the texture. So I just don't eat yogurts with fruit. What? Pizza bagels are unnecessarily tasty. I agree. Anthony, I think you just don't like capsaicin, which is entirely understandable and valid. Just doesn't taste like oranges. Hello, Brenda. I assume that's how you pronounce that. Please correct me if I am wrong. Oh. Blueberries. Blueberries and raisins are both awful because of texture as well. Raisins, I don't like the taste, but I can handle it. But the texture for raisins is just the worst thing ever. I really like the taste of Raisin Bran. Raisin Bran is one of those things that I really, really want to like, but I don't because I hate the texture of raisins. It kills me. Okay, good enough. Glad I got that right. I do like apple pie. I really like the texture of apple pie. Cobblers too. I love cobblers. Texture and I like crunchy or hard crust. It really depends. Like, but because like I don't like blueberry cobbler because of the texture though. It's also sour, and sour cobbler just doesn't work in my brain. So I really like peach cobbler, for instance. Right, Hydra. I'm actively fighting the Hydra in my solo level 1 new game plus 6 run. But I have to do it without getting hit because it kills me in one hit because I'm at new game plus 6 at level 1. And it's really frustrating. It took me a couple hours to beat the 4 kings, and then I went straight to the Hydra because I wanted to do Duke's Archives next because I really don't want to deal with Nito yet. I would highly recommend Cobbler. Cobbler is very, very good. Peach Cobbler is just so good. Raisins. Raisins is one of those words that's spelled weird. There's a lot of words like that. English was weird. Cough. Goff. Goff is one of the coolest characters in all of Dark Souls with one of the worst names. You don't like peach cobbler? Why? You like apple pie but not peach cobbler? Are you okay? Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. I'm okay with bad peach cobbler just because it's still similar texture. But like I worked at a casino and they'd give us food, but it was also casino food. So it wasn't good. I mean, it was still peach cobbler and I liked it. Good texture. It was peaches. I had peach cups recently peach fruit cups and was sorely disappointed. Called over. Indeed. Probably should have been paying attention. Hopefully I can kill this thing in like 6 heads, so I don't have to... Good day, Brenda. And thank you for dropping by for even the time you could. It depends on the gas station. And it also depends on the food. Like gas station sushi is never good. Ever, obviously. But like gas station like fried foods, pizza sticks, corn dogs, oh my god. Gas station is like the best place to get those things. Mozzarella sticks from a gas station. I mean, some fast food is really good. I really like Wendy's or Taco Bell. The thing about Taco Bell, it tastes good, but it doesn't feel like it tastes good. I don't like gas station pizza. I mean, it's fine. I'll eat it if given to me. But pizza sticks specifically are like great for my gas station. I should be drinking more water. That's probably why my throat hurts so bad. All right. I now have my water bottle in my lap. So hopefully I'll remember to drink more often. Good. I wouldn't recommend you start now. No, it's gold. That's not orange. I mean, I already have IBS, so there's really not much of a negative to Taco Bell for me. Orange. Yes, alright. It's orange. Duke's Archives. Then DLC and Gwyn. I should be able to finish tonight. I don't think I forgot any bosses. Yeah, I don't think I forgot any bosses. Got the Stray, got Capra and Gaping. I got Gwendolyn. Did I get Gwendolyn? No, I killed Priscilla, but not Gwendolyn. Okay. Thank you for reminding me. I'll do Seath first, since I'm already on my way there, though. Oh, excuse me. Probably drank that water a little too fast. Once I start working on it, I would love to stream my playthroughs in the... or for a project that it's going to take many, many, many New Game Pluses. So I think it'd be very fun to stream like a New Game Plus playthrough. Like each cycle would be its own stream, obviously. And I think that would work really well as a format. I will end up using the scythe again for that project, actually. I'm looking forward to starting it. However, it's a very big project, and I'm ready to start it, but I'm scared. Just because it's such a big project. What level am I? 65. That's lower than I would have thought. Let's see if I can kill the crystal golem without dying. Cool. Usually I can't. Whoa. I don't know if I'm going to turn the stream into a video. If I do, it's going to be primarily voiceover with like random clips interspersed. I think that could be fun to do. But it would also take a long time to edit. Just because I'd actually have to go through all the gameplay. Normally I'll write after, or I'll write my script after I record the gameplay, so I know what gameplay I have. And I know exactly what to include in the edit and stuff. But I don't... but I'd have to like actually pay attention to what the audio is. If I edited this down, so... We'll see. Though I think this is the best weapon in Dark Souls is a pretty good video title, so... What is what thing? The guy? The crystal guy? Like the guy that had the crystal armor and stuff? Please don't curse me, Steve. He's just, he's an NPC with the crystal set. And the crystal straight sword. And the crystal shield. I think that's what the stuff is called. Anyway. I think Domino sells the crystal set. As well as the crystal shield. And then obviously you can buy a straight sword from him, or from... You can grind it from the crystal hollows. This one attacks you for some reason, even though the other one just keeps running, and I don't understand why. Whatever. I mean, technically... Oh, previous room. I thought you were going to say previous area. Too tired to sleep. Truly a conundrum. A very relatable conundrum. I don't think the DLC should take very long. Maybe an hour at most for all of it. At the very, very most. Hopefully closer to half an hour or 45 minutes. Guess it depends on how long the bosses take. Oh, okay, we're back. OBS says I'm back online, so hopefully you can hear me. Yeah. I lost my train of thought because it disconnected. I don't remember what I was talking about. Well. Oh yeah, oversleeping sucks. I'm so glad I don't have to have a schedule to adhere to anymore. I've been staying up late recently. Like later than I want to, because my roommates get up like 10, 11. But I've just been staying up till 4 a.m. It's not going to be able to get up at that time. And not having to adhere to that schedule is a very, very nice luxury. I hate the way my brain works, because if I'm getting up at a consistent time, it doesn't matter how long I've slept, I will always wake up at that time. I've gone to sleep at 10 and woken up at noon before, and just could not fall back asleep. Sometimes I'll be able to fall back asleep, and those are very nice. But I have to be very, very, like, not stressed about anything for that to happen. And I mean, like, I have ADHD and stuff, which means insomnia. But as long as I'm not stressed at all, I can sleep perfectly fine most of the time. And recently, again, because I don't have a schedule to adhere to right now, I just don't have any stress at all. And it's very, very nice. Neurotypical people are weird. I don't understand how they keep schedules so much. Yeah, that's exactly how I am. I'll, like, wake up, and then my brain will just refuse to try to sleep again. I don't know. I usually try to sleep just because I know I can't not sleep for very long. Like, 4 hours of sleep will make me feel awful. But if I try to get no sleep, I will just pass out in the middle of the day, no matter what I'm doing. It sucks. So, I mean, on the bright side, I don't have to make that decision for myself. Dancing. I appreciate that. I try to make them such that as many people can enjoy them as possible. But I just want people to enjoy the stuff I make. No, I want to make stuff that people enjoy. I think that's an important distinction. So I'm glad I can meet that for at least someone. Getting jiggy with it. So true. I have played Tetris, however, my main mode of Tetris right now is Tetris Effect. I go between Tetris Effect and Puyo Puyo Tetris quite a bit, but I think Tetris Effect is my favorite. I did play Tetris quite a bit at one point, though. I got sub-minute sprint, but it's been a very long time. And I do not think I could give a sub-minute sprint anymore. Just not on... Especially not on, like, Puyo Puyo Tetris. Or Tetris Effect is... I think Puyo Puyo Tetris is a little bit slower than Tetris Effect, but Tetris Effect feels slower, and I do not know why. Yeah, I get that. It almost feels like a high, I guess, if I had to describe what being way too tired feels like. Yeah, I feel like if I was going specifically for like only doing sprint, then I'd go with Tetris. I don't like NES Tetris. It's specifically because when I go into NES Tetris, my brain has to swap modes. So like, I spent hours getting the double S on Tetris Effect Sprint. I really like the way Puyo Tetris feels. I don't know, it feels very smooth to me. And then like, there's another game that Anthony really likes, Tetris game that he likes. 99, that's what it was. Tetris 99 does not feel smooth to me. I don't know, it just feels... That's the one that I don't like the way it feels. What if you don't have a sleep schedule in the first place? I'm sure not having a sleep schedule is pretty bad for your health. Yeah, 99 feels jerky. That's a good way to put it. Puyo Puyo flows really well for me, though. And I'm not sure why it wouldn't for you. That's interesting. I've spent thousands of hours playing various versions of Tetris. I love Tetris so much. I'm not good at it. At least not as good as I should be with how much playtime I have, but I still really like it. Okay. I should not have gotten hit by that. That was entirely on me. Not sliding, I think, is the biggest thing for me for NES Tetris. That would make sense as to why it feels like a high too, because of the adrenaline. That makes sense. It makes it harder though. Excuse me, Seath. Seath, excuse me. Thank you. Like it does technically make it more simple. But it just doesn't. I don't know. It makes it harder, and then on top of not having like the holding, it just feels less good. It's a lot more RNG dependent, obviously, and that's I think the biggest thing I don't like about it. What the hell? Oh my god, yeah. The NES Tetris community is so nice and good. The modern Tetris community is nice too, but... Okay. We are back. Hopefully. Hopefully OBS is not lying to me. I can flow better with modern Tetris. I love T. That's what I love about modern Tetris. You have to like learn how to stack. It's not just yeah. I'm gonna set my water down since I'm basically done with the game. Only a few more bosses. Canonically a guy? I don't know. I think they're a guy. I think they're a he, him. Alright, thanks for joining. Have a nice day or night, whatever it is for you. I was gonna say that might be my internet, but I entirely understand what you mean, though. Men just, like, aren't attractive to my brain. Like, they might be physically attractive, but in any other way, my brain just does not want to romantically be attracted to a guy, and I do not understand why. I mean, it makes sense because I'm gay, but I don't understand why I can be physically attracted to a guy but not emotionally, despite having a lot of guy friends who I'm very good friends with. They're not trees, they're ants. If anything, they're closer to bushes. There are trees, living trees that you can kill, but I wouldn't call the ants trees. I mean, fictional characters are generally significantly more attractive than real life people, especially the ones that shouldn't be attractive. I know someone who's unironically very attracted to the Arbiter from Halo. Well, yeah, but it's funnier when the nonsense makes some sort of sense, so you can relate the nonsense to the sense that happened. If you say bush obliterated, I know exactly what you're talking about immediately. If you say tree obliterated, it was confusing because I don't think they're trees. My mind would probably go to low bunny first, but the king's decree. What king's decree? I serve no king or lord. Down with the monarchy. What's a boss HP bar? Rubbish. Oh, right, my HP bar. Well, I didn't want to level anything other than Dex. I had no reason to. So, I just leveled up health. Oops. Meanwhile, the Sanctuary Guardian is like the weakest boss in the game. And by far the easiest boss in the DLC. I mean, yeah, I get the Arbiter too. If the Arbiter was a girl, I would be significantly more attracted to him. Not that I've looked that up or anything. Gulpin? I get Gulpin. Gulpin's cute. Not like in an attractive way. Not in like a that kind of way. But Gulpin is cute, so I understand why you would think that. Bellsprout. Probably catching and digesting bug Pokemon. What is a Sangeli? Is that here? I feel like Artorias... Well, okay, I was going to say Artorias is going to be easier than usual. But most bosses are easier than my usual for this run. Oh, okay, the Arbiters. Yeah, that makes sense. I know a lot, or I don't know a lot of ace people, but the ace people I do know always say the, like, least ace things possible. I think the Covenant includes several races? Species? I don't know the word. At least that's what I would assume. Having not played Halo in a while, and also not paid much attention to the story when I did play it. Got to Halo 3, and we were going to play ODST, but then the internet started dying. I'm excited to play ODST, and I genuinely have no idea why. I think it's because it'll be the first Halo game that I've played that I will play that you don't play as Master Chief in. But I'm not going to play it until the person I played the other games with can play it with me again. Jesus. I was not expecting to be able to attack from neutral. Hope he's running. Oh, there we go. Yeah, isn't there more character customization in Reach? Or is there character customization in Reach, or is it just a few preset characters? I'm actually not sure. I should not have gotten hit by that. I've played insanely difficult challenge runs compared to this, and I did so bad in that fight still. Honestly, I get lizard / snake people. Different. Not liking games until after you beat them and can reflect on them is very relatable. I've had games like that, but I can't name any. Argonians. There's a reason that the lusty Argonian maid is so popular. Just what? Well, I mean, I've only played 1, 2, and 3 with literally 0 character customization, so... what are the cat people in Elder Scrolls? I genuinely do not remember. They're like... Yeah, Khajiit. It seems like more people would be into Khajiit, just because furries are more common than scalies, but... I've seen a lot more people into Argonians. I also like soft-looking lizard people, like smooth skills. I was about to elaborate on something that I probably should not elaborate on. I can't believe I just got eaten. I literally just looked, or was not paying attention. Oh my god. Yeah, but I mean like among normal people, among not furries, the average people, average, that's the word I was looking for. Among average people, I would expect Khajiit to be more popular than Argonians, but that's not really true. I was going to explain an image that is not appropriate for YouTube, but I'll just throw it in that channel on the Discord. Hey, Mino. Hunter Hunter. Nif. Unfortunately, I do not know what you are referring to. I have not seen Hunter Hunter. Ah. How have I ran past these guys without getting hit so many times? Just to... Because I'm on stream. That's why I got eaten by the mimic too. It's really cool to see you hear me now. Just because, like, it's so weird to... It's surreal to see someone who I've watched just completely independently join something that I'm doing. That's a strange feeling. If I had to pick a hear me out... I have to think about that. Because I definitely have them. I just don't think about it very often. Yeah, that's definitely what it was. It was the lizard people. Alright, I'll fight Manus before Calamite. Just because I don't want to run down to Calamite. Sally for cards. Honestly, I get it. There were so many characters I had crushes on as a kid just because they were women. Unfortunately, I am deathly afraid of spiders, so I cannot hear you out on that one, unfortunately, as much as I would love to. As much as I would agree if I wasn't phobic. Ah. Yeah, JK Leeds commented on a couple of my videos, and it's so strange, because I've been watching him and you both for, like, a while, and then I just make a random challenge run that I did on a whim that has nothing to do with the rest of my channel, and then this happens. It's crazy. Abyss juice. Indeed. That's the best part. That's unironically the best part of the Abyss. Just because there's nothing here. Okay, Dory is not one that I'm willing to hear you out on. Maybe Magikarp. Maybe. I'm a lot better at Manus than I used to be. I mean, mostly because of the Asylum items only playthrough. That sure was a hitbox. I was not expecting that to go that far. Why am I doing so poorly? Okay, I say I'm good at Manus now. Okay, apparently that was a lie. I apologize for lying about being good at the video game. Attracted to in a way that most people are not attracted to, but I can't remember what it is. I mean, I feel like if I had to give one that I definitely am in that way, it would be Rayquaza. Rayquaza? I don't remember. Like, I don't know. Just something about the snake. Like, the shape of the body and just like the idea of being coiled around gets me going. Maybe Gyarados if it wasn't so creepy looking. Also, I don't think I've ever seen that Prism Stone being white. That was, I don't know why, but that made me feel confused. I think the Prism Stones are randomly colored, like the pre-placed ones. The Man Serpents from Elden Ring, that's my hear me out, I think. I mean, like, it's not that crazy because Raya, but that's just like my main one that I should not be attracted to, that I definitely am. Mostly because of Raya, but also because Serpent and lizard people and all that. This stream chat went off the rails. And that is awesome. I wouldn't have it any other way. Again, I should be good at Manus by this point. Right? Just like long bodies. Primarino is great for various reasons. I will not elaborate. Like, I mean, obviously it has the mermaid imagery, but Manus, no. Sorry, I can't do Manus. First of all, he's a man, which does not do it for me. But also, I don't know, something about the horns. I don't think I like horns, especially when there are that many. If it's just like 2 horns on top of the head, but robots are shockingly common. You do have a long body, that is accurate. Robots are shockingly common, especially ones that aren't meant to be attractive. Broken heart. That's so real. Gwendolyn is the only exception. And I genuinely have no reason for that. It's just because it's Gwendolyn. Alright, easy game. Gotta wake up Dusk. Then we can go fight Calamite and Gwen. Dusk has awoken. If my headcanon was that Manus was non-binary, then Manus would absolutely be a hear me out, 100%. Marvelous Chester? I mean, you don't even see his face, though. I guess that doesn't... But I feel like that's the point of a hear me out. Like, I understand liking characters regardless of what they look like. Totally valid. However, the point of a hear me out is for a non-attractive character to be considered attractive by someone. So I don't know if that really works with Chester. Same with like Lucille. I get Aldrich. No thanks. But I get it. Parents of the Abyss. I like that. Parent of the Abyss. That I will exclusively be calling him Parent of the Abyss from now on. Sorry, calling them Parent of the Abyss. I know like 3 non-binary people, and I'm still so bad with pronouns. One of them I know exclusively as a non-binary person, but the other 2 like transitioned, and I should be good at it. I'm trans, but I fuck up all the time. It sucks. Crystal Sage. I think the Crystal Sage is a girl. But also the Crystal Sage has a plague mask, so you can't really see their face. I think they're a girl? I'm not actually sure. You have to check their soul item description. I don't know if you just need to come in and see Calamite fly across, or if you have to go down and see him breathe fire like onto the ground. I should. I'm not actually sure what triggers Goff being like, or offering to help you. Oops. Go. It's okay, we're good. Okay, so the plague mask is why they're hearing out. I get that. I understand that completely. Goff, and then Calamite, and then Gwen. We can end this before my throat explodes. I feel like I'm gonna have a sore throat tomorrow, but it's worth it. This is fun. I mean, Estelle is basically just a giant chain of anal beads. Okay, I will see you later. I'll probably talk to you after the stream anyway. Still, if they were slightly less creepy, but the creepy is like part of it. Like Celeste, I mean, I know of a bunch of good 3D or 2D platformers, but I can't think of any like Celeste at the moment. I'm sure I know some. What do you like about Celeste? Is it the movement? Or is it like the difficulty? The vibe? Onyx is also anal beats, which is unfortunate. Calamite is the boss I was fighting when I told the Cheerio story. If there's one video from the orange juice era of my channel that I think you should watch, it would be the Cheerio story. That's it. That's the only one. Are still a bit more creepy, or still a bit more weird and celestial? I think if it was less creepy. So, oh my god, the Kezu from Monster Hunter. That's my hear me out. I got it. It's the Kezu. All other things forgotten. The Kezu is absolutely my hear me out. And like it's horrifying and disgusting in the best way possible. I love the Kezu. Like I like the Kezu anyway, outside of that context, but in that context, absolutely the Kezu. Anyway, I feel like if Estelle was cuter, it would kind of just make it not Estelle. I don't know. But if it was like originally cuter, then you hear me out. Like, not even hear me out. I mean, it doesn't work for you in 3D. So have you played Sekiro? Because Sekiro is like that, but it is 3D, obviously. So less creepy, but more weird. I see. Weird is good. But it's also like Ebrietis. If Ebrietis didn't have like the... I don't even remember what Ebrietis looks like. There's one part of her design that it makes her not a hear me out for me. Or rather, daughter of Ebrietis. Hitbox. I can't believe I just got calamitied. I've been doing really bad at Calamite recently, and I don't know why. Oh. What? The next swipe can hit you with the... Okay. I've been doing really bad at Calamite recently. I have a challenge run, but a run that's on Calamite, using a weapon that is very not good against Calamite. And I've spent, like, probably 20-30 minutes just fighting Calamite over and over, and I just could not do it. Yeah, I can't really think of any games that force you to memorize them in that same way, other than, it's like Sekiro. You never played the DLC, but actually, yeah, no, you're not really missing out on that much. Calamite is my favorite boss in the series, but I understand not playing the DLC. That's totally understandable. Yeah, the macaroni face, absolutely. It's the face that I don't like on Ebrietis. The rest of it is awesome, but the macaroni face is not good. I mean, obviously, I can't recommend the Souls games enough. If you want a good game that forces you to understand it and learn it. But, I mean, there are other games like that. I would say Hollow Knight, but it doesn't really get like that until you get to the Watcher Knights, and by that time, even then. Ornstein? Like the armor? Or like just the idea that there's a man under the armor? Because then I feel like that's just like a warrior at that point, and that's not that much of a hear me out. But if it's like the armor itself, I get it. I'm not into men, but if I was, I would totally get it. Whoops. Yeah, when reborn, like, gross, first of all. Absolutely disgusting. But I get it. I feel like any game anyone speedruns has to be a bad game for them to speedrun it. That's just kind of how it works. That said, I think Dark Souls is perfect, and I will probably never speedrun it, aside from, like, kill Petrus percent. I think that would be really fun to do. Other than that, I will never speedrun this game. I don't like speedrunning. There are some games that I like to speedrun, but speedrunning itself isn't fun for me. Why am I doing so bad on Calamite? It's just Calamite. I fought him. I fought them. I fought the Calamite so many times. Drakeblood Knight from Sunken King. Sunken King. I know it. I cannot see it in my mind's eye. It's just not showing up. I think I'm being too greedy. The answer is absolutely not. Hear me out. That is 100% obvious. I totally get that. Half of the fight, your face is in her ass. Like, if you're not attracted to the dancer by the end of that fight, there's something wrong with you. Speedrunning is... I like doing glitches just for fun. Like, at speedrunning glitches in Dark Souls, I do them all the time. Not because I want to speedrun, but because I like doing the glitches themselves. Ornstein and Smo hate each other, but they are absolutely boyfriends. 100%. I understand why you think that. There we go, finally. I'm trying to remember the lore of the dancer. It should probably be pretty chill. I spent... Or, I'm not, like, good at Trackmania, but I play Trackmania every so often. And, like, I want to be good at it, and I'll spend hours just trying to get another second down. So I think... But that's also in, like, 30-second, minute-long courses, so it's kind of different. And the only game that I really, like, put in a ton of effort to speedrun was Card Quest, and at this point, the community isn't exactly fighting for seconds, so... Yeah, Prepare to Die Edition, I got it, and then I did one playthrough with it, and just didn't do anything more with it. I got it mostly for modding, and I install Remaster Test over it. Haba from Guilty Gear. I need to know more about Guilty Gear, but I will never play it. Are there, like, lore videos for Guilty Gear or whatever? Not lore videos, but, like, videos covering the characters. I think I want to do Prepare to Die Edition just to mess with, like... Or I want to play through Prepare to Die Edition and just use a ton of glitches that aren't in the remastered version. Like, equip her moveset swap glitch, and... What's the other one? The one where you can, like, just clip through the floor to get into the Demon Fire Sage fight. I love playing Ocarina of Time. That's why I did that swordless video for Ocarina of Time. Just because I love doing glitches in it. Area transition clipping. I don't think I've heard of that one. I'll have to look up some of those videos then. Because, like... I feel like if I'm going to indulge in the Bridget memes, I should understand who Bridget is better. The only character I know of besides Bridget is Potemkin, and that's only because someone I know really likes their theme. I think that's their name? I don't know. Obviously, I don't know much about them. I just know of them. Alright, time to first try Gwyn. And then stop streaming, because my throat hurts. See you later, Lumpy. I almost called you Yumpy. Have a good night. Or day. Whatever it is for you. Testament? I have never heard of Testament. However, I will be doing research after this stream. Hiya. Hiya. Gwyn is dead. I feel like if he was a... Like, I feel like if anyone exists who can choose exactly what they look like, and they choose to present as a specific gender, then that's just like so much more pure of a expression of their gender. Connected? I'm gonna wait till OBS says I'm connected to say anything important. I can only beat the game this quickly because I've played it for so much time. I have like 600 hours in this game. Testament is the best goth non-binary who controls blood ever. I see. Research it is. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and hop off before my throat bleeds. So thank you all for watching. Seriously, it was great to have all of you here. This was a crazy stream. I'm baffled that people gave me so much money. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I love you all, and I don't know how to end this.